Welcome to Modern Mythology, a podcast that explores the many intersections of story and system. For more information about this episode, articles, or links to our other related projects, visit modernmythology.net.
All right, so as part of our fantasy series, we decided to look into the Cypher System. The Cypher System is Monte Cook Games. There's several of their core games that are written in Cypher. Invisible Sun is a form of Cypher. Obviously, Numenera, Strange, and Predation, and so on and so forth. We're just going to be using the Cypher core rules to create a fantasy game because we're in a fantasy series.
It'd be no experience for me not playing Cypher. I've played Cypher before, but definitely doing it as a fantasy thing is a cool twist.
We have obviously Sean, Jamie, and myself, and we have a special guest.
Oh no.
Special guest.
I'm very excited to introduce S.J. McKean. S.J. is a veteran role player and has his own Twitch channel called Vox and Quill. And what's the name of your world? You have
the world of Evandale.
Evandale.
Yeah.
So we'll put into the notes all of the Discord links and stuff like that. We'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. And also, SJ, much to my delight, is a professional voice actor. So
we definitely are not.
Using your voice right now? Are you acting? Then congrats.
Well, the first thing, yes. The second thing is debatable.
All right, we call it role playing.
Yeah.
Right. So very, very, and also SJ has played Cypher in the past, so it was his expertise. And
You have so much faith. I've only run a couple of games with it on Twitch, and I'm one of those that enjoys discovering as we go. So what I know is what I know, and that is to say not a lot.
All right. But as usual, we're leaning into Cypher to understand not only how certain things can be different, and then, later on kind of talking about how this drives narrative, what we thought worked and didn't work, as well as how you might use some of these mechanisms in your game, or you just go to the Monte Cook website and buy the book.
Yeah. And we can talk at the end also about like what we, how it pushes on story and system. And that's had a lot of experience with Cypher where I really enjoy the way it pushes you with spending stuff. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
And I'm coming into this totally cold. So
as per usual,
learning as we go.
You're a straight man, Sean. You're a straight man. But you played a lot of fantasy. Like, this is kind of your season because it's our fantasy season, and it's just a way for you to think differently.
Season of the Sean.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So I put together a quick little thing. We are actually going to be doing something a little different that we normally don't do. We normally don't really lean into a lot of combat. We do a little bit of light combat. We've done in Coriolis. There's a couple places. Mm-hmm. We usually look at other ways to approach because, quite frankly, if your game has a combat system in it, that's the thing it's most likely to have, right? However, we did notice that combat works a little bit differently in Cypher, so we're going to lean into that. You can imagine that this is a fantasy setting with fantasy names and words and stuff like that, kind of first century Mediterranean is what I was kind of leaning into when we thought about this, right? So there's a lot of Greek influence, there's a lot of Northern African influence, and with the, a little bit Persian there.
I always wanted to do a Bronze Age collapse fantasy game. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. So you can kind of imagine those things, just humans. If there are other things, there are other things. There's magic in the world. There's spells. There's wizards. There's, as we're going to find out, and crazy creatures. There is a church that's sort of ubiquitous. It's
I was going to say a church, not...
It's a church right now, but it is polytheistic, and it is pretty, you could sort of layer it over like think of a polytheistic Islam kind of idea, lots of praying, lots of high church accoutrement, that kind of stuff. Very leaning into words and words of power, kind of stuff. But I would say that it's probably a state religion. I would say that everybody sort of has tokens. Everybody has kind of like, and I'm saying it because it's going to be part of the game. Like, you can decide, I don't believe these characters are going to be particularly religious, but you understand that when you go out into the world, you're going to expect to interact with very religious people. You are in a semi-desert setting, not Sahara Desert, but certainly scrub, brush, very light in terms of foliage, lots of lizards and camels and, stuff like that. Every once in a blue moon, you might want to come across something fantastic, and you'll have to fend yourself off from a giant scorpion or, whatever the case may be. You are all aware of the idea of devils and demons and angels. Whether or not you've actually met them is another story entirely. You could kind of think of some of that stuff with like the veneer of Hellboy. We have three characters. We have, first and foremost, Azalem.
Azalem Ben Khalidin. My sentence, mad adept who masters the spells.
So I should point out that it's sort of a key component to characters in Monty Cook's games in Cypher, is that your character's described in the sentence, and they make a really big deal where like all of the employees introduce themselves with these crazy sentences and so on and so forth. But it does give you a sense of a descriptor of how you make the character. It has a descriptor, it has a type, warrior, adept, explorer, speaker, and there's some others, and then a foci. And your foci is like the thing you do. It's your verb, so to speak.
Right.
Master spell.
It's like an adjective, noun, who, verbs, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Azalem has has gained some information about a creature that has been terrorizing the local area, is how Azalem has sort of put it to the two of you, being adroit slayers of monsters and people who protect frail, crazy wizards.
Remains to be seen.
Right.
Sean, who's your character?
So Dahia, the bronze jackal, this character is an inquisitive explorer who slays monsters. But just to give a sort of visual, if you saw Dahia, you would think that the last thing that he does is slay monsters. I mean,
Actually, it doesn't matter.
Well, I was going to say a little bit like androgynous, and
awesome.
I was actually thinking kind of Joan of Arc, like may pass as
okay. Is it sort of like a secret that you professionally put yourself forward as a male, and then
and certainly with a page boy haircut.
That's
so
great.
That,
okay, cool.
If that doesn't give it away,
I didn't mean to out you.
Exactly. But the bookworm type finds ways to slay monsters through finding out more information about those monsters, their weaknesses, looking into the archives or history books,
or by hiring people like me.
Yeah, if it's necessary. Yeah.
Not
have to deal with sorted
characters. We hire you for the knowledge because now you have the power.
And then we also have
Kochis, son of Roscos, is a tough warrior who defends the weak. I'm imagining he's a big guy, he probably doesn't it's like he's got like a kind of layer of fat on top, so you don't necessarily know how strong he is, but and he moves a lot faster than he seems like he does too. He's quite capable physically.
And I imagine your armor, by the way, is a little anachronistic. So it's not plated, but it is heavy quilted. You have a very heavy hauberk that goes down to your thighs.
Just what you want when you walk around the desert.
And also you wear a full helm that covers your face. Again,
most of the time, like the Mandalorian.
You probably carry it around, right? Yeah. But when you're about to go into battle, you have this full face covering helm. Okay, so there's going to be one major thing, not a major thing, but one main thing that we're going to do that's not really Cypher oriented, but it fits into Cypher, and that is you can spend XP to get a flashback, right? Now, by and large, you could do that with gaining assets in Cypher. So this isn't anything super.
It's kind of like a Blades thing, just pulling over.
But I'm framing it in terms of Blades in the Dark, right? So what you're going to be doing, sometimes there's going to be a roll, right? You know, clearly it's because of the flashback. It's not something that happened where you're going to die, right? But you could take damage or whatever the case is, depending upon what happens. But often it's basically allows you to ease before you spend effort, right? So it allows you to gain some skill, some insight, have something, however you want to have framed it. For instance, it's assumed that Azalem and Dia both did research, right? Based on what Azalem has told you. Therefore, when you actually approach these things, you could say, what did I learn about this? What do you know? So forth. Now, it's also assumed, however, that whatever you learned still kept you on the path to be where you are today, right? You're not going to be like, well, fuck that, I'm not going. Right? So role-playing wise, you've just become this person that's okay with that thing. Right? So
we kind of already know what we're hunting. We're already on the path, basically.
We're already on the path, yes.
And since it's a monster, I think Dahia is looking for the challenge anyway. Like, this is a way to prove them.
It is a monster, guaranteed.
I'm just trying to keep both of you alive.
It is a monster. I'm not telling you any lies. Yes.
The monster's name is En Hurugal. Yes. You are hunting En Hurugal.
Is that a type or an individual?
We'll get that.
Is there N of one?
Right. You are approaching. You're coming up a series of switchbacks, approaching a bluff. That bluff has a large cliff face. So in other words, there's probably more mountain above, and you can start to see the entrance of a mountainside temple of some sort. You can almost immediately tell there's dilapidated statuary, and as you're approaching this, and they probably have not noticed you yet, but as you're approaching this, you can see that there are two people who are standing at either side of a hole in the side of the cliff. There are a number of dilapidated statues. There seems to be a couple of these broken bulls of sorts. Looks like they might be missing various things like heads or wings or various accoutrements and such. There's some deep carvings into the cliff face. These two individuals seem to be covered in white mud and are wearing face-covering hoods and black skirts.
Are we expecting guardians?
Well, you can expect anything that comes here. I can guarantee you that they are going to ask questions with their steel.
Mm-hmm. Good thing I have mine.
They do not seem to have weaponry.
They're hiding all the weapons. I'm telling you this.
All the weapons.
Yes, but it is always in places that you will never know. Yes.
Yeah, they seem real friendly.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot see their faces. This is on purpose. They are very embarrassed by their looks.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I hire you for a reason. I say, here, you go kill.
I hesitantly unsheath my sword.
Shing.
and I'm going to go up around the side a little bit.
Sure.
Wait. Clearly talking loud enough
Right.
where they can hear. He doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
You're doing this entire thing. You have this knowledge. You have thirst for knowledge. This is why I hire you. You go question them, and then when they are dead, then you can ask them even more questions.
I find out what's behind that, under that hood, and why they're hiding their faces.
That is one question to yes.
As you approach there's Spiral and Diamond, right? There's
These sigils on their
There's
chests.
sigils on their chests, and Diamond steps forward just like a half a step. That it's hooded figures sort of pointing towards who's ever up front, and makes a gesture and says something in a language you don't immediately understand.
Oh,
But makes sort of like a hands out kind of gesture.
You're the scholar.
I'm gonna pull a book out of my satchel.
Okay? You have three of them.
The book is going to be some sort of history of the area or things like that, but
Sure.
more for show for these guys in terms of I'm kind of looking up at the temple and the structure, not paying quite as much attention to them, but I will be out front.
Okay.
But I want to seem as inconspicuous or as
unassuming.
Unassuming
Not
as possible.
inconspicuous,
Yeah.
but
Too late for that.
unassuming as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Okay. What do the other two do as they're greeting you?
I'm eyeing them, basically looking for any sudden movements or any secret weapons, which I've been warned of.
Sure.
it's very secret.
But otherwise, I'm not gonna attack them right away.
Okay.
Yes, I hired this genius, and this genius who wears the armor in the sun to go and find out. So I will stand there and wait for them to summon the nether gods that they are always going to do. This is all they ever do there in the shadows of which they stand. Okay. It's, I don't do anything.
Is it the Nether Gods, really? Okay.
It's always the nether gods. Where the hell do you think they get their weapons from?
Again,
The nethers.
the two of them are trying to communicate with you. There is a pet. By the way, there's a brazier, probably about 10 feet in front of them, that's on fire right now. There's also like a little pedestal with a little bowl next to them. It seems some sort of red liquid in there, very likely what they drew on themselves with. Again, covered in white mud.
Is there any chance to how I would be able to discern the language? Is that something that?
Well, certainly, but if I don't see any script here.
There is some like iconography carved into the wall above them. and such.
I see all
So-
these symbols now.
So I'm looking through the book,
Sure.
matching that up to the symbols that are up there, and we'll address them. Good people. I am looking for more information about who constructed this temple and why. And maybe you could answer some questions for me. Would you be willing to do that?
What are you trying to get out of them? What are you trying to get from this process?
Trying to really get their intention. I mean, are they going to, take the hoods down and be like, yeah, sure, let me give you directions and where to go in the temple, or are they going to be threatening? So
Gotcha. So you're just looking for intention. You're not looking for information.
Yeah. Trying to be unassuming.
Yeah, they are not. Several times now, they have said some words, made some gestures that it's clearly not like spell casting or anything like that. They're, son,
And I don't understand it.
Oh, yes, no. Yes, this makes perfect sense. Look at the symbols all around. They all say the same thing. Not a single symbol says the exact same thing.
That's what my book says.
Your book come from different libraries. These symbols that are around, do I recognize them? I have studied symbology.
I'm going to guess that you've probably done some work, done some previous work before. You recognize a language that's some 3,000 years old.
Tuesday.
And if you, because of Decipher, if you wanted to spend for Decipher, I think there's a cost involved.
Well, yeah, it's one eye.
So you have your edge.
I have an edge of 2.
So it's free for you. So it'll take you longer. It's going to take you longer to understand.
Well, I'm flipping through the book.
And you don't know it all.
The book is matching the cipher. I'm looking for the symbols of the book.
But you're just like...
okay.
Yeah.
So this book here, no. We're right by 2 pages, and this symbol over there. There, take a look. There it is, that one there. And then we begin working together. What ultimately is the message that these symbols are trying to convey? This is the temple of, this is a landmark.
It says, do not enter.
Clearly not for us.
You're definitely get a sense this is like a high holy site. This is some sort of temple, which is very clear. And you do not recognize the names of the deities and entities that are mentioned or otherwise. You know it is very old.
Are these the deities we're looking for? These are not the deities we're looking for.
This is absolutely the place. I've seen it in my visions. When I have the fig pudding, this is what it tells me.
I'm shaking my head. No, we're in the wrong place. This is not the place that we're looking for.
No, this is in fact the place I'm looking for. I'm not falling for that. You do this to me last week, and then you're doing it again. This is not the place we... You did it again! This is the place that we are looking for.
Continue to approach them as we're talking.
Yeah, they're still... And they're like looking at each other like...
I make the same gestures completely by accident.
I want everybody to make an intellect defense roll.
Ooh.
Intellect defense.
Any particular difficulty?
Yes, 7. That's 21.
Ooh.
Right, hold on one second.
So I have an inability that's going to make it a 27 for me.
Inability and intellect? Really? That's interesting.
Anything that you may have that would allow you to sort of hide your intentions, you may use to help you.
Oh, I am so overt.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a single bit of me that understands what hiding intentions are. Yeah. No one ever understands them anyway. So, however, can I use my symbology to ease it?
Don't ask.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Now I see where you're going. Okay, cool. Using the symbology on their chests, I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what the mannerisms could mean, what they mean in this weird sort of way.
Sure.
Taking into account, what's your character's name?
Tahir.
Tahir?
Tahir.
Tahir has a book, cross-referencing that with my knowledge, taking a look at those. That's 2. Let me see if I can get a 3 on that. And then I'll also spend 2 effort on that to really see if I can dial this in completely by accident. So I'm going to spend 5 of my intellect for the 2 effort. And if I'm lucky.
Minus your edge, right? So it only actually...
Minus my edge, yeah. Well, it normally would be 6, right?
No, normally it would be 5.
Oh, that's right. So I only have 3.
No, your edge is 2.
Yeah, my edge is 2. So 5.
For the first one only costs 1, the second one costs 0.
Holy crap! I spend 1.
There you go.
There you are. That should break me down. That should knock me down. So I need to roll an 18 or better.
Is that all?
This is all.
Wait, you went from 27.
Yeah.
You spent 2 assets.
2 assets, yeah.
And then you eased it, so you're down to 15.
Oh, 15 or better. Okay, so I have a 75% chance. This is good.
Go roll.
The sun is baking on your heads. Just like this mine, and that's why I get a 3. This is not good. I can see nothing.
I'm telling you this.
You don't need to. What are you doing?
One thing I'm trying to convince, ignore the fact the person who hired me is insane. One of the things I'm doing, but I'm also going to, I'll spend it. I only have an edge of 1, but I'm trained, so that knocked it down 1, right?
Yep.
It's 1 tier. And then I'll spend, how much would it be with an edge of 1? It's 2.
Yep, so you're at 15?
Yeah. 13.
There you go. All right. What'd you get?
Would my immunity to mental influence?
No, because they're not trying to influence you.
Okay.
At all.
So I am trying to.
This is a defense roll. Do you have intellect defense?
I don't have anything. Yeah.
So you're hindered?
That's why I'm wondering. What are they doing to me?
You don't know.
You don't know.
They're just looking at you.
I am so incensed that the sand hasn't yet spoken to me. Spend an XP to reroll.
Oh,
Didn't you succeed?
No, I got a 3.
you got 3.
Oh, you have to get
15
more.
or above,
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm telling you, I have all the answers to everything.
Okay.
A 3 again!
You do have the answer.
Yes.
It's obviously a 3.
Yeah, you got a 3, and I got a 13, so both of us failed our
You
rolls.
both failed.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have 0 defense in intellect.
Yep. You're trying to roll over 24 currently.
Okay, but I do have the ability to roll.
Well, you could spend it down, or you could still try to roll. But if you want to pull some out of your pool, you can do that to bring it down.
What's your edge?
Edge is 2.
So that means it's only going to cost you 1 to
Bring it down 2.
to bring it down to 18.
Got it. And then effort. Is that what I'm doing?
That's
Yeah.
effort,
Okay. On the edge. So I'm not sure what else I can.
The three of you are not particularly deceptive people, so that's why
I'm sorry.
you're not gaining any real bonuses from this. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, right. We are trying to deceive. We're just not doing a good job.
Right, sure. You're not very good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So go ahead and give me a roll.
All right. May I borrow that?
Yeah, of course.
5.
That was a 3.
All of us failed.
They seem to be conveying that to some degree welcome and asking you why you're here. Do you say Enharugal's name? They're asking you if you want to be anointed again. You're just cobbling this together. They pick up the little bowl. They're like, "Do you like to be anointed to go inside?" Like, what do you?
We have to go inside so I can prove to you that this is not the place.
I think this is very, what? Yeah,
We go inside.
I think this is the right
we
place.
do have to go inside and look. I have an idea. We must go inside to verify if this is not the place.
Do you mention Enharugal's name?
Yeah, I did actually. I mentioned
you
that
did.
before.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
So they're like, "What do you all do?" They're standing in front of the door. What are you gonna do?
I think it is as simple as this. I come walking up like a tattered robes from having slept in them for several weeks straight. Messy hair, not even moving because of the wind, coming down the way towards them. So I come down into this region and I would just not even thinking of decorum. They have the bowl in their hand, do they not? One of them?
Yeah.
All right. I go on with it. It is very clear that what they are asking for is something akin to leaving a bloody handprint on me and swishing around a little bit because now it happens to look like a spiral. And then I just happen to indicate the diamond on the other one's chest and I kind of carve it into my own, not even realizing that I'm actually doing the symbols myself.
Okay. They seem verklempt.
I'm
They're
gonna-
just like, "Woof."
Start walking forward, and basically, if they try to anoint me, I'll allow them to, but I'm going to try to just walk right past them.
All right. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna be a little passive on here, so I'm gonna walk up to them and kind of mousy and see if they're. I'm gonna try and follow you, but see if they're gonna try and stop and anoint me.
They're clearly asking if you want to be anointed to go in.
Right. I'll allow them to.
Okay, sure. And they'll I need you guys to make assuming. All right, so here's the question. What are you trying to convey to them? What are you trying to other than crazy?
Sure, of course.
Are you trying to convey that you want to go in? Are you
Yes.
trying to convey that we're here to see Enharugal? What are you
Yeah,
what are
so-
you doing? This is a social interaction. This is
Yeah. Me walking up to this
yeah.
and explaining that this is the place, that this is not the place, is all because Takia.
To you.
Yeah.
set me off pace by saying that this is not the place where we have to go in. So that was yeah, exactly. And so it was a conflict in my mind. That's why I grabbed this up and did this. It was a conflict. So because he's only drawn to what you said to here, that's my only concern right now. I completely forgot that there's a damn temple here.
Yeah.
You probably recognize that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my main concern is basically to protect both of you and make sure. So I'm just kind of like.
No exposition. Let's go ahead and what are you doing? I want to see what
I'm walking. Like I said, I'm walking right by them.
You're just walking by.
If they try to annoy me, I'll allow them to. But
All right. This is a social interaction.
We can't speak with them, right?
You're trying. What are you trying to convey? Anything? Or are you just bullying through? Is the question.
I think you said that you are walking forward.
Just
and
bullying
they stopped
through?
I'm not bullying. I'm walking up to them, walking through it. Like,
Well, there's a difference between like walking up to them and like accepting and just walking past them.
yeah, well, I'm walking up to them, and like I said, if they're trying to annoy me, I'd be like, kind of like a little kind of like not frustrated, but like, okay, yeah, do your like weird whatever culty thing on me. Keeping an eye on them, like if they pull a dagger, whatever. But like otherwise, like
they combatants. These are clearly non-combatants.
All right, then yeah, I'll let them do their thing. Although I'm kind of like impatient about it.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make a social roll for me. This is just you trying to be congenial and in any way. What's the word I'm looking for? In any way contrite.
I have no skills of that nature.
You're really social.
or disposition of that nature, yeah. So I think it's just going to be a flat roll.
Flat roll? You just need a
15?
I'm sorry, no, 18.
Wouldn't be intellect if I try to push it down?
Yeah.
What the hell? Let's just roll.
Just roll?
17.
All right, still failed.
Wait, no, it's success, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's 18 now, right? It was 15.
Because of the language barrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for me to gain a better understanding.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and I'm going to flip to a blank page in the book that I have, pull out a quill.
Okay.
Right. And I'm going to, try and sort of just learn what it is that, what deity they represent or what.
Before you do that, okay, what are you socially trying to get out of this interaction? This is a social interaction right this second.
To hear it can decipher languages.
Yeah.
Now, this is verbal, not written.
Sure.
So whatever I can write down, maybe phonetically, what they're saying.
Are you trying to gain sort of an asset to learn their language a little bit so that you can interact with them a little more?
Yeah.
Oh.
To learn from them. Yeah.
To learn from them.
Yeah.
You can make a intellect roll to see if you can... If you
I have learning as a skill.
Yes, there you go. So it eases. So you go from a 21 to an 18. That's trained.
And because of your edge, if you just spend one from your intellect pool, it
brings you down 2.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that.
So you go to 12.
Okay.
And you could conceivably use a book. Like you have these history books.
Yeah, that and the quill to document.
So you're at 9.
Nice.
Okay. All right, cool.
9 to just immediately learn their language.
I don't understand how the objects impact that. But
what's that?
I don't understand how the
items are assets. Assets reduce difficulty. Ease difficulty.
Yeah, it's a weird thing I'm saying, like anything that you can use to your advantage then becomes an asset.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything at all. So otherwise it's just you and your brain just doing it.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm writing it down, I think, because, I've learned the symbols here. This is the appropriate book.
Right.
They're speaking something that I don't know, and I'm trying to gain a better understanding out of that.
Go for it.
Without a doubt. 6 out of 9.
Okay. You are, so again, you're at 24 to socialize with them. You're trying, you're attempting, but go ahead and make your social roll. That was just for you to learn their language in these interactions, right?
Yeah.
You're not certain how you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But but hopefully that they're appreciating that I'm trying. 13?
Nope. So looking at you kind of oddly, and you could roll if you want to, or unless you feel like you've done it.
No. I have an absolute motive to this. However, it's not the social. It's not the social interaction that you seem to be looking for. So I don't know what specifically you would like me to describe.
They're clearly trying to ask you.
Yeah, I got that.
Right.
So my social interaction was they are covered in mud. Clearly, they are statues made of meat and therefore have no bearing on my reality.
Okay.
I understand that they are there, that they have pools, and that serves a purpose to them. But to me, I will mimic it just sheerly out of because this is just what needs to happen or whatever. I have drawn the symbols.
Mocking them.
Sure.
But but that's just it. Not actually mocking them. It's
So
just
you're refusing you don't want
I'm not
them to-
refusing. No. It's not a refusal.
Okay.
It's not as black and white as that, is what I'm saying. I acknowledge that this is something that is happening. Once these two have gone through, you got anointed. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're in the process of getting anointed?
I have not gotten.
Okay.
You've both gotten anointed.
Okay.
Anointed both of you.
Okay. Yeah. So now I look at them. I look clearly at Tafia's chest, and I can see you have anointing on. Or where do they put the marks?
Did they touch me?
Yeah, they dip their fingers into the red stuff in the bowl, and they'll mark the side of your cheek, and they'll mark the side.
I obviously do not like this. Whatever it is that they're doing.
Do you let them do it?
Yeah, I'll let them do it, but I'm scowling.
Okay.
As they do it,
And I see that they have now marked my two hirelings here. Mm-hmm. Now I have it all over my chest. Now I'm looking at them with intensity. What is it that you would like? You want to put on my face? And I indicate with my fingers my face.
Sure. Go ahead and make a roll.
Sure. What am I rolling? Intellect.
Yep.
Straight up.
Again, just trying to convey you're both all trying to communicate with them,
So that's a 9, but that's a difficulty of 3 or better.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right. So they put the same. They attempt to put the same mark that they put on that.
I look at Codis and I take a look. Does it look like berry juice, paint, blood?
That's an excellent question.
I have a knowledge in viscera.
Yes,
So
you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you know that it is viscera of some sort.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some sort of. So you're not certain exactly. You'd have to examine it a little longer if you wanted to get exactly.
Sure. I'm seeing if it's coagulating or if it's running.
It's running.
It's running. Okay. No. This is very good.
It does dry on the face, but
and when it dries, does it turn a dark, rusty brown?
No. It stays pretty vibrant, and it's pretty vibrant on their chests.
Cool. So it's probably
pretty vibrant on your chest too.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I 8 minutes. When they put it on my face, I'm looking around for the symbols. I'm feeling the shape that they put on my face, and I look around for the same symbols that I probably don't see. Don't care. And then ultimately get distracted by the juice in the bowl.
Okay.
I take some off of my cheek, scraping with my nail, taste it. What is it?
Go ahead and make a visceral roll.
Yeah, perfect.
And,
That's a 4.
oh gosh.
We're rolling not good today.
Yeah, I know. Here.
You've never interacted with anything like
I never have. Perfect. Then this is knowledge that has yet to be gained, and I just gained some. Now we can go in. I look at them, pat them on the shoulder, good boy, and move in.
Okay. I'll follow along, kind of, cool stalwart.
As you do, they back away from the door, right? Sort of giving you egress. But from their cowls, you hear hisses.
I hiss back at them.
Okay.
Yeah, very friendly.
I'm kind of like under my, we're kind of like readying my weapon, but not like drawing it yet.
Remember, words are power, and these are their weapons. I warned you about this.
And they definitely are sort of backing away from all of you.
They're backing away from us.
Told you they're creepy.
Still blocking us?
No, but they're backing away from the entrance.
Oh, okay.
The three of you are just standing in the entrance.
Allow us to walk in.
I think we're entering, yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Are they bowing their heads to us?
Yeah.
They are showing us deference. They think we are gods, eh? This is the right place for these.
Yes.
We walk in.
Are they even human?
Yes, no.
Yes, no.
New monster lore. I need to make one final annotation here.
Yeah.
That,
What do you want to know about them? What do you want to?
well, I was able to see their faces, but what creatures would have a human body, practice blood sports, and potentially a hiss without a human
face? You can make a monster lore roll, which is you're currently, because of the age, currently at 21, but your training in monster lore will bring you down to 18. The book conceivably put you to 15.
So you have an asset you can also spend from your pool. It's up to see how important it is, right?
Yeah, no, this. I don't want to expand, but
it's one of the things I love about the system. Is that it makes you make those decisions.
None of these, by the way, decisions are trivial.
Right.
I don't believe in empty rolls.
Well, yeah, don't roll if it's
And I guess that will make this difficult, so that's fine, especially if it's not something.
Do you want to stay at 15?
I'll stay at 15. Yeah.
I'm gonna. I notice that you are looking at them with intensity. That is going to throw my gaze.
And furiously taking notes.
And you're taking notes while looking at them?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very clearly, they are studying you writing. So I would now study them as well and make verbal comments in an effort to aid him.
Sounds good.
18.
We finally succeeded on the roll.
Success of the game.
I know.
All right. So you have definitely heard of this group. They are a group of zealots called, in their language, the Adherents. They are ostensibly fundamentalists for this old school deity. It's very Zoroastrian in sort of its perspective. It has like a huge hierarchy, celestial hierarchy.
Angramayu and all that. Yeah.
These are humans, just normal people that are...
that like to hiss at us.
However, something that you do learn, especially with an 18, is that they are 3,000 years old.
Like they like a cult, but them.
3,000 years old.
Okay, so they aren't human. I mean...
Well,
yeah.
So apparently, from what you can read and what you've read in the past, or maybe discovered in some of your research before you got here that you wrote into your book.
Well, now made the connection. I'm like, that's
exactly, They go through a ritual. At 18, they go through a ritual probably at dusk and dawn that ostensibly provides for them immortality.
Very, very complicated skincare regimen.
You'd be shocked to know how true that is.
The sun and the lunar objects have been here forever, and as long as you continue to look at them, so will you be clearly.
I kind of like I have no idea what he's talking about.
And start walking.
Yeah, exactly. Like, point me at the thing to stab. God damn it.
Are you here looking for immortality?
Me? Why would I be here looking for immortality when it is to be found everywhere? Yes. But only in terms of the knowledge that we must have, which never actually dies. Because memory, whether it is your memory, my memory, or someone else's dream, it's all the same thing. We have knowledge, and knowledge never actually dies if someone always remembers. Therefore, my goal is to make sure that no one ever forgets.
I agree with him on that point. But
finally, you have seen the darkness.
I'm gonna die in this cave with two madmen.
So we walk in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you walk in?
Yeah, I'm probably walking. Like, I'm not gonna leave you if they stop, but I'm kind of like, let's get away from these whatever they are.
Yes.
A monster I could fight.
The statues made of meat.
It is a rough hewn. There are still carvings on the walls, all the same sort of stuff, until eventually it opens up into a chamber, again rough hewn. The floor's a little more tooled than the walls. You can see that there's definitely marks where this was carved out of a natural cave. And there are three, it's probably about, this is about 6 meters across. Yeah, about 6 and... No, I'm sorry. This is actually probably about 12 meters across. And maybe about 3 meters tall, right? But it's an uneven ceiling. Clearly, they've not carved away a lot of the ceiling. It comes to sort of peaks and things.
Pillars? No.
No pillars, no.
This is just carved.
They're living in a
So
cave.
this is a little bit like Petra.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
that's cool. That's really cool.
What it actually looks like, not like an Indian joke.
There's 3 main features of this room. The first is there is a large circle, perfectly, like there's stones laid out. And within the circle, there is a surface, a smooth, well, it's not smooth, a white surface that is bubbling.
Ah, the milk of the earth.
And it's probably about 3 meters across. So there's just this stone, and you probably get a sense that it's some sort of pool of white mud.
That's what they put on themselves.
It smells, there's sort of like a interesting earthy smell here. You can kind of feel it's not sulfuric, but you can kind of feel it in the back of your throat. The second interesting thing is that there is a waterfall in here. There's like a little alcove. There's an area that's been carved out to be probably about half a meter deep. And there's a slight glow to the area. Very slight, like bluish tint.
Is it coming from? It seems like it's coming from the water itself.
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like it's coming from the water itself and going down into this basin, and then it seems to like seep through cracks and back into the back of this basin. And then the most striking thing you see is that there is a gate. It has 2 pillars. It has wings on the top. Very significant iconography of this religion, of some sort of heavenly gate, some sort of like look into the divine is what this.
So what do we know about the monster we're hunting already? Do we know anything about it? I mean, aside from whatever you've told us, because I don't probably trust that that's actually the truth.
Are you asking that?
I'm asking that as the player, not the character. I'm wondering if you've already divulged to us something about the monster that we're hunting, or if it's kind of you've been keeping it close to your chest.
It is exceedingly dangerous. It has the ability to warp the minds of peoples all around the place. El Huragal is not something that should be allowed to exist in this area. If its power remains uncontained, that is to say, contained within this temple, or should be set free uncontained, then all reality as we understand it will now fundamentally change, and people will all of a sudden change and even start liking each other.
I can't independently verify what he says.
Okay, so while he's talking, I'm looking at you to like look at your expression. To see if, like, I should like trust that or not, And afterwards, I'm kind of like not sure. I'm like,
It was a long time ago that this temple, which is not a temple, if I believe you to hear, this temple, not temple, was in fact built around this thing in order to contain it. But people have now been coming in and energies have been coalescing in an effort to free it. The 2 man-made statues that were outside, they are here to merely protect it from people who are not us. They let us in unscathed and therefore give us permission to do this. Verifiable guarantee. And this gate...
Maybe we shouldn't open this gate.
Right.
No. The gate is a good thing. We're going through the gate with the wings.
You can't see. The room is dark. You all have light sources.
Except for the balloon glow or potential.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you can't see much beyond the gate. It's just like mist and smoke.
Oh, it's very interesting. It's very dark. This is the darkness that I tell you about. Knowledge is within the light. This is called a torch. This is knowledge. I start walking forward.
I'll have my sword out, using it as like a light source. Basically, it gets light, fire, glow.
Yeah.
Cool.
You took my torch.
It was hanging out in your backpack. Of course, I hire you. You carry my things for me. This is mine now. Here,
I
you
want
got
to
this
point
thing.
out, by the way, in case you all have tried this in the past, the Watchfire blade you can't light things with it.
Okay.
Can't ignite stuff?
And
Oh.
I'm guessing that Codis probably gets annoyed when people try. It's a little bit too much of it's not a sacred blade, but it's too much of a profane action for such an item. Anyway.
Walking forward, coming up to the gate,
Okay.
I'm curious, does the mist move as the air gets heated by the light of the torch?
No.
So the mist is independent of the reality. This is perfect. This is exactly as it should be.
I mean, things like swirl and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's just not receding.
Understood. You know how heat rises? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
There's a clearing of the air of that
It's
stuff.
not clearing of the air, but it's a movement.
Because of the torch.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. And your bodies and stuff like
Sure.
that.
Perfect. This is exactly where we need to go. The air works.
That's good because we need that to, breathe.
How is your armor against the air?
It's usually better against, swords and whatnot, but air works too.
Careful that the air might get in. And if the air is bad and has toxins in it, your armor will not protect you. I am wise and tell you good things.
I would think if the air was going to be bad, it would be as a result of this mud. And I scooped some of the white mud out in my hand.
How you do?
Yeah.
White, it's mud, it's warm.
It's earthy and real. All right. Then I go over to the basin and I wash my hands.
You do? Yeah. It does a very good job.
Okay. All right.
Before going forward, I just want to stop for one moment and kind of cock my head, almost like a dog listening for sounds, and just listen out to see if I hear anything in here at all.
Wireless
Completely
Rips and
natural.
Right, but no like footsteps or slithers or, demonic chanting. Then I suppose we can continue to your gate.
I'm standing there, one arm across my stomach, the other one like I'm twirling whatever hair I have just under my lip as I look at you. Well, I'm waiting for you to walk in and see if the air affects you.
You are guessing, since you're kind of playing with this stuff. First off, you do feel, while it cleans your hands, you do feel a little discomfort doing so. You're not certain why. But you do know that this accoutrement is very likely where they do the ritual, where they made themselves immortal.
I'll glance at you and then kind of very hesitantly take a step into the gate way.
Now we watch if he die.
How far in do you go?
Just a couple steps, and basically seeing if they're following. If he doesn't follow after that, I'm kind of like gonna stop.
I lean forward at the waist as if looking at you even closer is going to somehow reveal something new.
Right.
Anything happen to him?
No.
I say I'm fine. Come on.
Amazing. It even sounds like him. You should go next.
Okay.
Yep. Let's go.
I'll pause for a second before walking through the gate.
Do you hold your breath?
See, you have
unconsciously. All right. You go in.
Amazing.
Do I see anything in there? Is it just dark, like tunnel, or?
Hold on. I'll wait until everybody else goes.
So the two pillars, are they on the outsides of the pillars? There is wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't walk around the pillar?
No.
I walk up, I look at the air, hold up my torch, in, out. Ah, it is air. Very good. I walk in. And then, the air does not harm us, and you are real, exactly as I have written.
We've got the earth and the mud. We've got the water and the fountain of youth.
Yes.
We've got the air. So we are
Waiting for the fire. You are correct.
All right. So first off, visibility is very low. You can, as long as you stay with like arm lengths of each other, you can see each other. Otherwise,
Do we have rope?
yeah. Sure.
Let's tie a little rope. Kind of like connect us with rope. So if one person especially him, because you have the gold on you, probably. I'm hoping.
Well, who said
I don't want you
anything
to
about
leave him.
payment?
Let's hope you didn't actually say that.
No, I said that.
By the way, don't forget that for Devoted Defender, you have to actually do a thing. You actually have to claim a ward.
Claim?
Spend. Well, look at it. It says what happens. Yeah, so you have to actually, it's an action. So you have to say who your ward is as long as they're in your sight. So just letting you know that it's a thing you do. It's
Right. Yeah, I mean, the rope is more just like, so
I know.
right.
But
That's also an action I can take.
it's an action you have to do, otherwise it's not doing it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Not the bonus, the claiming the ward. It's you have to be like, this person's going to be my ward. And
The person I'm protecting.
you're protecting. And so I'm just saying, if you want to do it, if you want it to be in effect, it's
Right. Yeah, then I will do that. I mean, kind of like regretfully, because I'm like, this guy, fucking crazy guy. But he is the one who hired me. I'm supposed to protect him. That's what I've been hired to do. So I'm going to do it. Is there any sort of like, I guess I'll
up to you,
yeah.
role playing wise. If you do anything for it.
Yeah, well, I'm actually like I walk up to you and kind of do like I kind of touch the four corners of your head, your chest, both your shoulders, and I say a couple words.
Yes.
You are like you're probably like totally into it. You're pretty sure the words are nonsense, and like you are bonded. We are bonded to each other. I will protect you.
You understand this now.
I do.
Now you do something with the rope.
I just link us up with the rope so that if something comes to drag one of us off, hopefully there's a chance I will be able to fight it off. Of course.
Holding or tying? Are you each just
Like
holding
through the belt, kind of like like run it through the belt.
tying around your
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking like run it under like through the through your belt loop. So it's like you could detach the belt if you need.
I think I'm on one end, he's on the other end, and he gets the loop through his belt. And as you're doing the tapping thing, I'm curious as to what's going on.
Sure, we'll get to that.
Right.
All right. So first off is visibility. You're now in a rope again. If you go beyond arm's length, then you just become vague shapes in immediate range. And then you can't see each other at all, beyond that.
Right.
The air is acrid. It's not hard to breathe, but you blow out and you can see.
I'm definitely putting like a cloth over my mouth. I don't know if it's going to affect.
Yeah, it feels like you kind of might like to, or perfume or, something to that effect. Waving it in front of your mouth doesn't seem to do anything, although the air is physically moving around you. You can't see walls or anything to that effect. If you go the distance of like arm's length to side by side, eventually you could kind of find one wall or another. But the thing that is definitely obvious is you can hear whispers. You can hear people talking in the distance. What they're saying is not very clear. Varying pitches, varying ages, varying heights, varying directions.
This place is designed to trick us.
How do you mean?
The voices, they're not here.
You can hear the voices?
I think I can.
You are the first person to ever say you can also hear the voices. This place. Now you think that I am mad. They've always called me mad. But when I ask if your armor can protect against the air, now you see why. You protect yourself against the air now, do you not? Because of its accurate nature.
I'm trying.
There is wisdom in this brain of mine. I ask that you trust the process, for many things have I seen, including that thing behind you.
I do look behind me when he says that. Like, what the fuck?
You can't see anything. Air.
Yeah.
Yes, let us go forward.
Kind of moving forward cautiously.
I need everybody to make another intellect defense roll.
I'm trained.
6.
What's the, is it 21 to start?
Hold on one sec. It is an 18 to start.
Yeah, I'm going to save my intellect tips for now because I might need them later. So I guess I'm just going to roll it.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get 15.
15.
Nice.
20.
Oh, nice.
20.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Wow. Well, interestingly enough, so what you just failed, right? You got a 15?
15, yeah.
It's a shame if you had done one thing in effort.
I know.
It would have been fine. All right, so the two of you failed. You succeeded.
Right, yeah.
So you get to ask, because you got a 20, you get to answer 3 of 4 questions.
Okay.
Or you can ask 3 of the 4 questions. So tell me which one you don't want to know.
Right.
How you get out, how you get in, how this place favors you, and a weakness of An Hurugal.
Weakness, out and in. I'm very practical.
Sounds good. All right. So, yeah, it's interesting because you hear Azalem's voice saying, be like, oh, you can hear them as well. You're the only one, you know, kind of idea. And you do. And they're just like, you actually almost feel a little hand grab your hand. Instinctually pull away, or maybe you don't. That's why you rolled a 20, but you just let this little girl lead you through the mist.
Right, and I'm like leading them by the rope, so they don't really know that I'm being led, probably. They feel the rope pulling them, like, oh, he says go this way.
And sometimes you can feel them going in different directions. Like, you guys are like, no, there's an exit over here. I can see the doorway, you know.
So he is looking for
this way. I know the way
to go, so I'm kind of like, you know, doing this crescent back and forth.
So there's like a little tug of war going on, but you know he's going to win a tug of war.
No tug of war. I go along because you're walking exactly as you should be.
Yep.
This is you are following the ad. What the ad tells you. Good.
But both of you, the whispers in the air are telling you different things. Just so you know.
How are these different than the voices that are normally?
I don't know.
Just go with it. It's fine. You become like me.
Sure.
Right. So I guess the weakness first, or
you are relatively certain that you remember how to navigate back to the Heavenly Gate, and a weakness. You get into a conversation with an old man as this is sort of walking beside you as the little girl is leading you on. You're somehow like, I'm glad nobody can see this.
Yeah. Are you spirits?
And he says, what does he tell you this creature's weakness is?
You want me to tell you what the creature's weakness is? Fire. It's a water entity and it hates fire.
So it is very susceptible to corrupt fire. It is very susceptible to witch fire, to infernal elements. Any sort of corruption in general it eschews.
Do we know any demons? Friendly demons.
The old man says, I do.
You do.
That's you're in a conversation.
Right.
Yeah. Like, well, you know a demon.
That's how he knows that.
Would this demon be able to help us?
Do you wish the help of demons?
If it will get us to our goal, yes.
That explains the mark in your face. And he walks away.
I know the way, I say behind me more loudly, so it's, seem to be speaking to you now.
Yes, of course you do. This is why I pay you.
But he was totally talking to himself for a while.
And it says something about demons. Yeah.
Wait, what have you learned about it?
This thing is, it reacts poorly to corruption. Something corrupt like a demon would be able to hinder it.
This is good.
Maybe?
No, this is very good. Because it tells me that it is demonic in nature. If it was an enemy of it, what kind of an enemy? How would you build defenses against your enemy otherwise?
I don't know. That's what an old man told me.
An old man? I was standing here the entire time. I did not tell you this.
No, different old man.
Different old man. You have the old man now. This is good. We should follow the old man. Is the old man in the room with us?
He left. No, thankfully he's gone. I was starting to worry a little bit about my head. This place is the smoke is a lot.
I know, it's very like home, yes?
Your brains, especially the two of you, are swimming.
Yeah.
Like, you guys starting to kind of see like stars,
I love these
shapes even of your friends are starting to get a little warbly, and then eventually you come out instinctively. Take a deep breath. Like you coming out, you're just like, and you can feel the air is cool and crisp. It's dark, but you can
with my sword,
with the sword, and come out further, and you could see that you're in a large cavern. Eventually, it actually takes. There's a point in time where it takes you guys probably a good 10 minutes longer.
Mm-hmm. Tahir stops and is talking just via...
Despite the fact that you're holding onto this rope.
Yeah, to say, it really irks me that you two gentlemen are hearing voices after we've already established these voices are not real, right? So,
excuse you.
But the rope gets tight.
I don't know that I should be
and
guided by you guys.
You might even pull a bunch of rope and so on and so forth, and you're starting to kind of get a little concerned because of Devoted Defender. You know that they're right there. To some degree, you feel and then maybe a point in time where you reach out and grab.
Yeah, I follow it back. Yeah.
No, I mean you just reach into the smoke, and then pull. Him out. It's a little harder and a little bit longer for Tahir. But yeah, it's a good 10 minutes of being in the smoke before eventually.
That smoke does a strange thing to your head. I feel much more clear-headed out here.
I'm facing the wrong way, so you pull me backwards. I kind of stumble back as I'm saying, I don't think I can trust you guys to go in the direction that you want because you're hearing voices. They're not real. And then I'm like, you did find the way out.
Because the voices are real and tell him where to go. The same voices that guide us here in the first place because of me.
Normally I would doubt that, but I'm starting to think that might be the case.
Yes, we are of one mind.
So it's just dark out here, right? Outside of the smoke is a kind of a wall where there's smoke swirling behind us where we came from, but then it's dark.
Yeah, so it's another gate.
Oh, okay.
Almost identical.
We come out of that gate?
Come out of another gate.
All right, cool.
Obviously into a different... It's a large cavern. It's pretty complex. There is... The first thing you notice... first thing you notice is a gold path of, literally gold stones, pavers, leading down, through this winding cavern. There's more cavern in other directions, but lots of stalactites and stalagmites that are meeting, lots of natural nooks and crevices and so on and so forth.
So my 20, knowing which way to go, does that tell me that I should be going to following a trail?
No, it's your understanding of the little girl's no longer leaving you or anything to that effect. There's no whispers any longer. However, you can tell probably about 40 meters ahead and around a number of curves. You can maybe even through some of these nooks and crannies, you can actually see an illuminated area. You can see an area that is lit deep within the cavern.
All right, so there's a light ahead of us.
Yes.
And then the minuscule light that the torch is providing. This is a cavernous area?
Yep.
All right, so we cannot see the ceiling or what have you, but we can see that there's a golden path under us.
Yep.
Is this cobblestone, flagstone? Does it matter?
Yeah, it's flagstone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed it yet because I'm looking up, but I'm holding the torch well above my head. Where to allow the voices to guide you?
I kind of trace the yellow brick road. Is it heading towards the light?
Gold.
Right. Paper.
Is it literally gold?
I don't know. You get tested.
I mean, I'll look at it. I'm not going to do a metallurgy.
No, I'm
metallurgy
following
test,
my eyes.
I'll look at, does it shine like gold? Does it?
It's kind of dusty and so on and so forth. If you get on your knees and wipe it, it looks metal. It looks metallic.
I'm pondering, how can I get one of these pieces in my pack?
You're thinking very loudly.
Yeah. Well, this is probably going to would pay a lot better than you do, but
I mean, you
All right.
have
Wait.
a knife. You
Yeah.
can try to like pry a brick.
not yet.
What are you referring to?
The gold.
Go to where?
Point down on the ground. Okay. And like have to like guide
Why
your
did you
eyes.
not tell me this? This is gold that we are standing on.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't take it as much as I want.
No.
It's like a test.
This is the way to get paid. We need to carve this up.
All right.
Maybe on the way back, but
Yeah. We'll start following it towards the light, I think.
There is a path, and as you get closer, you can see that there seems to be some sort of sanctum, some sort of stalactites and stalagmites yield to actual columns.
Cool.
These columns are carved into intricate patterns. The air is bright. The light, is bright. It is, and it starts at first. It's got to bend and move between columns and so on and so forth, and shifts in some level. But then it becomes steadier and less like fire. Becomes obvious that the light is not fire, and then you hear it. You hear a low, deep growl that shakes your insides.
Demon eyes ahead.
And you hear, I can smell you.
here it
I
is.
can feel your corruption in this holy place.
Holy. It is holy to itself. Keep this in mind. It will always use words to trick you.
Will this be a good time to do a flashback
Ooh.
in terms of like the research that you did on the monster?
So, well, to what end? I don't know what.
Your thing is kind of gathering knowledge about
Yeah,
them, right?
Well, that and defeating them.
But before you went here, what Jamie's trying to point
Right.
out is you could spend an XP and be like, I did research on this earlier, and learned some information about this creature.
Well, now that I know that it's real.
Well,
and-
hold on. Remember, there's a flashback.
Yeah.
Before you understood that it was real, right? Did you...
Well, it's kind of like reading about a dragon, assuming the dragon's not real, and now you know that it is.
So, I see.
So
You're
why else would I have the flashback now?
Right. That's what I was thinking. Before we try to engage with it, it might be good to have any information that we would have gathered.
Well, yeah, just to determine what is the nature of this creature. And
Where did you learn this? Do you want to spend the XP?
yeah. Let's flash back to digging through a tomb way in the south deserts that was basically everyone had abandoned, and I was able to find a passageway through the crypts that led to an area that had not been pilfered or robbed of valuables. And similar to the gold pavement here, I wasn't distracted by whatever other treasures that were there. I was seeking the knowledge, finding scrolls, ancient 3,000-year-old scrolls, not coincidentally, to rifle through and collect on.
Go ahead and make a muscle roll. It's an intellect roll. So it's 21. You're trained. So that goes to 18.
Definitely
Right. Bring it down.
putting
2 effort.
Yeah,
Effort goes to
so.
12.
and the scrolls. So
Right.
yeah, I think at this
Brings it to
point it's
9.
like
Yeah.
15.
There you go.
Yeah. Almost for something else.
Right.
You're making all of our rolls from now on.
You get to ask 2 questions.
Given that he's got this aversion to corruption, there's something holy and reverent. What is something holy and reverent about this creature? Like, obviously, we just found followers that are 3,000
Sure.
years old.
So
Before we take it on this guy's word that we're going to, defeat this creature, I don't want this to be benevolent.
Killing an angel.
Sort of verifying, that in fact the danger exists.
Yeah. So you read a story, which you had just assumed was a myth,
Yeah.
of Enrugal. And Enrugal was supposedly a Shadu, a being that an individual known as the Flamebringer, Aduravahina, summoned during an ancient holy war. Apparently, 3,000 years ago, there was some sort of crazy, in the myths, some sort of crazy war, and the Flamebringer, what you would understand as an angel, summoned Enhurugal to participate in the battle. It's called a creature's
Couldn't unsummon them, so end up having to.
It's just here now.
yeah, just here.
That's your first question.
So following that along, I imagine to some extent he's either imprisoned or somehow isolated to a location. So did I get any indication that he is restrained or otherwise forced to remain here?
A lot of what you read now makes sense, in that you do get a sense that there are classes of beings that various portions of humanity over the centuries have deemed as places for pilgrimage. Oracles, various healers, well-wishers, blah, 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 blah. And there is a rite of binding that can be done to ostensibly keep them, to imprison them, so that pilgrims, could conceivably continue to visit them. And you've actually read about a number, like there is an oracle in a mountain that this oracle is trapped there, and that they switch out the oracle every, so many decades for whatever.
So this binding was done on the demon? Or could be done on?
No, it was done.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Are you relaying this to us?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going through the scroll.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
like I've got the scroll, and I'm like, okay, so what you're saying is real. So
Yes.
and this creature is certainly
There is something, though, that
was conjured on an ancient battlefield, was utilized for the battle
by an angel.
by an angelic being.
Yes. Yes.
And now presumably is bound to this location, maybe at one point, so that visitors could come.
It is known as the what? Flamebringer. If set free, the contagion that this would bring upon this world is going to be immense. We are all going to be baked chickens. So this object here, this being summoned as a tool of war, may have been for the forces of holy long time ago. But I tell you now, this is a weapon of mass destruction, and we actually found it.
Usually I don't ask questions of my employers, but why is it that you brought us here?
Because it must be contained. There is a way to free it. It must be. For your simple minds, I will try. It is currently possessing a corporeal body. That is to say, it has a body like flesh. It can be damaged. However, it is now constrained in this. If it is allowed to go and walk amongst us, in other words, you simply set it free, the flames that will come down upon this place will turn into an inferno, because that is all that creature knows.
It roars, lies.
Because this is why it is in the bounds now. It only knows war. These types of creatures are created for one reason and one reason only. This one will only seek to destroy by fire.
Is there any chance
Well, what would we
that we could set it free by accident? And
No, we can set it free by destroying its corporeal form, by removing its heart, and in so doing, set it actually free. If you remove the bonds, then it will thank you, may even reward you.
You hear another roar.
Yeah.
It says, why do you follow
See?
this charlatan?
Charlatan, it calls me. After I say, if you free it, it will thank you and reward you, and then it says that I am lying. If it is so good, then I will see I must be telling the truth, am I not? But no, he says even then I am lying. Therefore, he will not reward you if you free him, and instead burn you alive. There is only one way that this true creature, an angelic being, can be released, and that is to release it of its material form, which is where it is now. If you release the material form and not the soul from it first, then it will only seek to do the damage that it has sentient to do.
I will burn away your corruption.
To conflagration worldwide, the first truth that we have heard from this creature. You now hear the truth itself. This heart must be set free, and thereby relieving it of its soul. Let its soul go beyond.
I agree it's a danger. I think it's possible that it is lying, and I think that maybe it's possible that he is lying, but maybe both of them are.
Yes. Wait. Ooh.
I'm a little concerned about the fact that it seems to know who you are. But
It says it smells the corruption.
what am I going to do?
That is all three of us.
You have a skill to determine these things.
Oh, I do have discern motive. So, yeah, I'm going to try to kind of get a read here between them kind of like not fully conversing, but, talking at each other a little bit.
Kind of have to focus a little bit for the skill.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You have to sort of decide
Which one I'm going to... Right. I'm going to discern on him kind of like...
On me.
Yeah, to get a sense of like if they have a history, if there's like a context here, because I feel like there's a context that I'm kind of like walking in on, like not a lover's quarrel, but like, yeah, we're like walking in, like I say, like, oh, these people know each other, like, oh, this is a little weird, I don't know, but like maybe I'm reading it wrong, right? Or maybe he's reading it wrong.
Sure.
So yeah, that's what I'm going to try to discern. So what's the starting? People might say difficulty, but I know it's called something
How
else.
does that work with opposed? Is it opposed or is it just your tier? No, it can't be that easy, right? Can't be just tier. What is the difficulty? Let's call it. We'll start at a 15.
Okay.
And you're trained?
Right. Yeah.
So it's 12.
Hope I get it for.
Do you want to affect this roll at all? Do you want to?
What exactly?
Hindrance? Do you want?
Right. Make it harder for me to read you.
Yeah, no, because everything
Oh,
that is...
by the way, I'm going to move it to 9 for his madness.
Oh, okay. 20. Damn.
You natural 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question is basically what the dynamic is here, like why you're trying to hunt him, what the history is that, if there is a history, like
There is no history.
or
per
context.
se.
Like I guess context is a better way of putting it.
But more importantly, there's no history. They don't know. You don't get a sense that,
Okay.
But you do get a sense that whether or not he believes it, he does have an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
It must be set free. Its heart must be removed so its soul can be allowed to go on.
If he intends to banish it or destroy it,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this
walks
character
in
in
there, he's
particular
like-
doesn't have enough sort of subtlety to like suss this out, where they kind of like, fuck it, I was here hired to do this job. Like I can't, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy shit. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna try to basically start like kind of like circumambulating, like kind of like position myself to get into a fight, but not like charging it. It's kind of moving.
Now, careful when you do this. There's many eyes that it can use to see.
Oh no, is it a biblically accurate angel?
Again, you can see there's ostensibly, as you circumnavigate, you reconnoiter the cavern, you can see that there's distinct columns and that this stands
Oh, geez.
in the center.
Holy crap. So what we were looking at looks like a lion with a man's face to some degree, glowing eyes, horned. It has the body of a bear bull with talon fingers, wearing gold, some kind of jewelry ornamentation around its forelimbs, and it has wings, like eagle wings.
Wings and horns.
Yeah.
It is festooned in gold jewelry. Wow. So it has gold on its wings, like clearly like plates.
Balrog.
You realize also that the thing that's lighting this chamber is it.
Mm-hmm.
It literally is radiating light.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's pacing. If you've seen like a lion in, the zoo, it's, sort of like pacing around, you could tell that it knows where you all are as it'll like glance at you. It does have glowing eyes. It's snarling.
I don't want to set it free in the course of attacking it. That seems ill-advised. Do you know any spells? I mean, you are killing his works
All he
magic.
does is whip his hands into the air and make a sound effect with his mouth.
Yes, but real magic.
See, it's real magic. You think I'm going to waste my energy on this?
Fair.
Of course.
The invisible flame.
You must be able to understand magic to see magic. You are the warrior here. On a spiritual nature, I'd be able to assist you. But what do you feel is going to allow us the advantage now that we are talking all within earshot of this creature?
Talk, or you can charge.
It's saying that?
Yeah, it's growling. You can talk or you can charge.
I think it wants us to release it.
Of course it does. And if you release it, it may, remember, I said it may thank you and even reward you, and then call me a charlatan.
Yeah. Or it might destroy the world.
Right. It's a weapon of war.
Step forth, I will free you of your corruption.
Which means to free you of your bodily form. I can empower your weapons. I can create its confusion. I can give it a headache, which I always have. I can do a great many things. I can bend the light around you so it cannot find you so easily. Whether or not you can find yourself is a different matter, but that usually requires therapy. This is beside the point. If you attack first, I will aid you greatly.
Well, it seems averse to corruption. Can you
Corrupt him? I am not a corrupting individual. I do not have that ability, but I can also prevent it from leaving this area with or things. I can also... Maybe I do this. He reaches up into the air and starts pulling at it as if the air itself had begun to coalesce into webs that you see. Casting one down across the body, casting the other one down across the body. Now he has an X of webs. He reaches into the webs, which are simply made up of air that begins to all coalesce, until finally you see a web start to form in front of him. And forming out of that web, you see bulging out of it a giant spider. I'm going to summon giant spider. The cost is 4 plus my intellect points.
Nice. Wow, I didn't actually think he could.
It's like better than the invisible fire.
Yeah.
If you spend effort, it'll follow you. It'll do what you ask.
If you apply the level of effort as part of the summoning, that's awesome. Thank you for the reminder. The spider is amiable to my instructions. Yes, I will absolutely do the effort, which is nothing.
It's 1, right?
Oh, yeah, it's just 1. So, yeah.
Plus, you have to spend the 4.
And then the 4 intellect points, which
Minus
is
1.
Minus 2.
Minus 2. You're right.
Right, minus 2. So that is 2.
2.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to charge that.
There is a horse-sized spider that is now coming from the darkness.
Nice.
Yep.
God, what do you want to do?
I'm itching to get at the creature, so I think if I see an opportunity, I'm going to take the sword out.
Okay. So how this works is we're not going to do the detailed initiative because I don't think it's really very important, but basically you just decide whether or not you guys go first or it goes first. I'm going to set it's a level 7, but it's not particularly fast, so I'll set it to 15.
Okay.
So you all have to make initiative rolls at 15. So it'd be speed.
19.
There you go. That's a minor effect, by the way. 19 is a minor effect. 20 is a major effect. Also, don't forget that you get an extra action when something attacks you. After something.
I succeeded. I got an 18.
Is that a minor effect or plus 3 to damage?
That's a seize the moment. That's what I was trying to figure out what to do with that. Yeah, seize the moment.
I got an 18, so I got it too.
You got an 18?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. So you both go before it?
Cool.
Hell yeah. The spider is...
It would happen. It would attack on or do whatever you do on your action.
Got it. So I initiated that action. I didn't know if you wanted to advance that. Send it out.
You have to make a speed check.
I have to make a speed check. Okay, cool. That's an 8.
So
I don't know what
go
I'm
after.
going against.
We go before and you go after.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Gotcha.
All right, so you get to go first because you're all the way at 19.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What do you want to do?
I think the effect is with the spider appearing, the big guy striking, and again, Dahia is underestimated. The creature here is assessed. Everybody, the spellcaster that just produced a spider, big guy with a flaming sword, and figure the slight person with the page boy haircut is probably not the one that you've got to pay much attention to. But Dahia slips behind the spider and out of the vision of the glowing eyes, and with my extra action, I'm on it. And
It's not the extra action yet. That's a speed defense. It's after it attacks. If you successfully dodge, then you get an extra attack.
Oh, I thought you
So
said
this is
I
your
got an
first.
extra action.
I'm just saying, don't forget it.
Okay.
So this is your attack. What do you want to do in your attack?
I'm going to attack.
All right. So you want to try to get behind it or whatever the case is.
Yeah. So that was all flavor.
So it's going to start. Your attack starts at a 21. You're hindering it because of the minor effect. Again, you can either hinder it or you could do extra damage. Which would you prefer?
I'm going to hinder it so it's easier.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're at 18. You are specialized in sword, right?
Specialized, yeah.
So that goes to 12. This is a speed action. Do you want to use any of your speed?
As much as I can, actually. I can only use the 2 effort, right? So
Yep.
that's another 3.
Yeah.
So I spend the 3 finding the soft spot between all of the golden flakes and
Hopefully it has one.
burliness. All right, here we go. No whammies.
Oh, 3.
3.
All right. So does anybody want to use? You have an experience left, right?
Yeah.
You want to use it to reroll or no?
To let him reroll?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll kind of distract it or something. Like you kind of whiff, I distract it. You kind of can make a reverse swing at it or whatever. So you roll again.
I'm going to realize what I'm trying to do and going, oh, wait a minute, he's at a good spot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I apologize. I haven't been giving you guys enough GM intrusions.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, we roll a 1, we get an intrusion. That's so I'm okay with only 20%.
All right.
Or
And
5%.
here's the...
It's better to give out more XP during the thing. So
Right.
intrusions, and then you guys
Yeah.
doing your things. If you do them, you have to.
More to
you tell
spend.
me.
All right.
Okay. No whammies. Let's hope.
Let's do it.
20! Oh, major effect. Oh,
That was worth it.
Yeah,
That was worth it.
very worth it.
Being the first one to strike at it, at first you feel like you're sort of walking through molasses. Going out into the light and into its presence. However, you are not affected by mental stuff, your will of legend.
Yeah.
And,
Immune to metal.
and so eventually you kind of get used to this feeling, right? There's just this feeling a little bit what you're doing is wrong. And you're just like, yeah, whatever. And you do a lot of damage. You just sink your sword into its side.
To the hilt.
It begins to bleed molten lava. It begins to bleed this viscous hot magma onto the
That was my
ground
idea that fire is corrupting. But
that spits.
remember, fire is its weakness. Let it step on its own fluids.
All right. I'm going to try to use that distraction to strike my own blow.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm specialized.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to spend the pips. I have an edge of 2, so that's just 1, right, to bring it down by 2. And I'll swing my Watchfire Blade.
Good.
So it's a magical weapon.
Yep.
13.
13.
Got it.
Sounds good. I think
5 damage?
5 damage. Right now, 6 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, between the two of you, it sort of raises up on its hind quarters. Both of you,
Mental
no,
mobility.
not you, make an intellect defense roll.
Sure. I'm trained in that.
Great.
So that goes down by 1, so it's 18.
It bellows. It sort of screams out from your blows.
Edge 1, how many pips is that? Is that to bring it down by
Edge
2?
one would be 3
3. Okay.
to go 2.
Okay. 2. do that. Hopefully it's worth spending it. 12. Okay. 13. I just got it, so it was worth spending it.
So your cheek is on fire. You can like feel the side of your head just like
I'm trying to like bat it off and it's not working.
Right, yeah, and you're just like, but it doesn't do any damage to you. You definitely get this feeling, again, it doesn't necessarily sway you, but you definitely get this feeling of like you've done something terribly wrong. Like you flashbacks of like your mother chastising you for like doing something terrible as a child.
This demon is trying to twist my mind.
Yes, this is what it must do.
However, its immediate concern is you. And it's going to try to bull kick you with its hooves.
Do I have an opportunity to go before the creature?
You go after.
You go after.
Because of your initiative.
Yeah, because your initiative. So got to make a speed defense check.
So I'm trained in speed defense.
Great.
I'm going to burn 3 then to bring that down to whatever.
12.
To 12.
Or may the odds be ever in your favor.
And I attempt to dodge. 12.
You got it. So now, since you succeeded, you duck underneath his hooves. You get an action because of
Right.
what you
Oh,
do.
yes.
And I think seize the moment.
Seize the moment,
Yeah.
yes. I'm going to attack. Start at 21, just turning in 5.
Yep.
Because I'm going to do another 3.
Right. You're 15-9, right?
9. Good. Specialize in the sword. You got that?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where you're at 9.
Oh, I got a 9.
Oh, you roll exactly again.
Barely succeeded. All right.
Another 7 damage.
7 damage. So, yeah, you stab it in the leg, like one of the hooves that goes by you. You stab it in the leg, and it scrambles. It sort of like falls to one of its haunches, and then is trying to like scramble up, sort of like when cats get hit, and they're trying to like find their footing. What is Azazel one?
Ray of Confusion.
Ray of Confusion.
Hell yeah.
It's good. And is the spider going to attack?
Oh, yeah. Spider's also going to attack, and bring my headache with you. I need to find my character thingy. There it is. Okay, cool. So
It's an intellect attack.
it is an intellect attack.
You
And
can use Arcana, so since it's magic, which you're trained in. So
it's going to cost my 2 intellect points. I will cash in my little 5 thingy for another 3. Or no, for a total of 5. It costs 2. Oh, it's free. That's right, because I have an edge of 2. So, rejected gray beam of confusion at a creature within short range. Am I within short range?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I just need to attack. And
You're at an 18 right now.
I'm at an 18.
Yep.
Okay. I have a knowledge of Arcana, so I know how to do this.
That moved it to 18.
Oh, that brings it down to
Do
18.
the effort.
Do you spend effort? Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, hell yeah.
That's why you turned in.
There's 1, and then my second one is free, so there's that. So bring it down by another 2,
Yep.
and that'll bring me down to
12.
15.
Yes.
15. There you go. And it says on your sheet there the damage.
Yeah, it is going to inflict Ray Confusion. It is going to be 1 damage, which ignores armor.
Right.
And it is all target attempts are now hindered. That means tasks, attacks, and defenses.
Right. So what that means is that this brings right now he's at a 21. So right now for the next round he'll be at an 18.
Got it.
Just so you start at 18 instead of 21.
Right.
Oh, you mean for what we're doing?
Yeah. Yeah, you made him less able to.
And the giant spooter is attacking.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead and again, he needs it's simultaneous, so it's still at the 21. So
13. So no win.
yeah. So it's going around it and trying to attack it, but it's not doing it.
Okay.
Right. All right. Cool. Don't forget that recovery is an action.
I'm thinking about doing that, but at this point, it probably doesn't make sense.
Also, don't forget that with seize the moment, you can also do a recovery.
Oh, interesting.
Right? You can attack, and then when he attacks
Yeah, I'm going to take the advantage.
you could recover, or you can recover when he attacks you, if he attacks you, to defend, right?
Yeah.
All right. It backs up. It does what it can. It has it's a pretty big area, but it is a kind of a limited scope as to where it can go because it can't leave this little area. It stomps its hooves, sort of reasserts itself a little bit, and says, I see you finally brought people of metal to this.
See, I knew you knew each other.
No, they don't. Totally going off of what he said.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, believing that.
Yeah, I'm going to take the opportunity while he's confused to do another attack. And can I bring my speed down to nothing? Like if I turn in all of my speed points out?
Yes. Yep.
There's no.
Yes, but you can't do another speed action.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna
until he refreshes it. Right.
Yeah, I'm on recovery next, but I'm going to take this opportunity while I've got
Sounds good.
A better chance.
Right. So you're using your specializing sword.
Yep.
And then you're doing 2 effort, right?
2
brings it
So
down to
6. Damn.
Again, that's thanks to it being confused and it's shaking its head.
Yeah. 7.
Keep just getting
Skin at your teeth. However, you know where to hit it.
3 rolls by a total of 1.
Yeah.
You know where to hit it, and you just like slash across its chest. Again, you feel that like molasses feeling, but it doesn't matter to you. You're just, the shing, shing, kind of idea. What do you want to do?
How injured does it seem? Does it seem like it's
hard to tell. It is raining magma at this point from many wounds. You're not certain what it's trying to do, but it's clearly just trying to position itself where you guys aren't at its back. Unfortunately, this temple was built in the middle of the cavern, so you guys could conceivably gain an advantage from like an asset.
Is it obvious what the barrier is that's contained?
It's very obvious. It's the columns. It's very clear that this temple, this sanctum, is built in the center of the cavern.
Not to be a one-trick pony, but I think I'm going to use my sword.
Don't forget that you have 2 abilities that you use with your sword: bash and crushing blow.
This free effort with 1 effort when using 2 hands. That means 2 hands on the weapon?
Yeah,
I guess?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a hand-to-hand. Okay, cool.
You choke up on the sword, and
yeah, then I will do that then.
and it is kind of a bastard sword.
Then yeah, I'll bring it down like in a big cleaving blow.
yeah.
Technically, the type of sword is called the Rompaya. I'm using the Thracians as sort of like the basis for your character's aesthetic.
Cool. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So free effort with 1 effort means I use 1 effort, and that counts as 2. Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Or if you do 2, it becomes 3.
Right. Then I'll do that. So 3.
All right. So hold on. So we're starting at 18, and you did 3 effort.
And I'm trained in or specialized. I mean,
Specialized in it, so you could have 3.
yes.
Hold on. Wait. However, I need you to make an intelligence defense check
First. Okay.
because after it sets itself and such, and it kind of looks a little wounded, you're definitely getting this like sense of this is wrong, like deep in your gut.
So I only have 2 pips left, so
Yep.
I'm not going to use those right now.
Okay, so you need 15.
Hold them in reserve. And I failed.
You failed, so that's just that's gonna bring you down and not back up to 9.
Okay, and my attack. So I'm saying, kind of questioning my thing, but I'm still in the flow of it.
Your just heart's not in it, quite. But you're doing it, It's like loyalty versus your own internal like struggle. But
I take out the book and I start flipping through pages. There you go. I'll explain why in a moment.
20.
The natural 20.
Hell yeah!
I rolled 3 of those tonight. That's remarkable.
Wow.
And that's only
Major effect.
5%.
Yay.
Wow. Okay. So, that doesn't. The 2 of you are basically just like
Wailing
wailing
on
up
it.
on this thing. Like you're just like slam. It's like tries to fend off of one, this to the other.
Confusion helps too.
It leaps over the 2 of you, and then you all hear like this angelic chorus. The lights get kind of brighter. The gold shines a little more. If this was a video game, he would like his beard would get all braided, and like he'd just be like standing up and looking up into the heavens.
It's very confusing.
As he does a recovery action.
Okay, I'm flipping through the pages and I'm going to use one of my ciphers, looking for a spell that's going to bolster morale, which I would like to give you an edge for 1 round for your next attack.
Nice.
So I'm telling you that your cause is mighty, your blade is sharp, and the fire in your heart will soon replace the fire in his. Go.
Would that make my edge 3?
It's the fire will be the corruption.
Yeah.
Yes, the fire is corruption. Listen to him. This is why I pay you the money.
So go ahead and make an arcane roll.
Okay. That's a 2.
So none of what he's saying makes sense.
I'm thinking like he's like yelling. I can't really hear him over like the roar.
Right, over the roar and the majesty. He's just sort of mumbling in the background. 2 on a raw intellect roll just wasn't enough.
I got you.
All right.
Anything, but your spider too.
Spider.
Roll the spider.
It's all right.
9. So you were at 18. Nope, just misses. So he's kind of, I'm going to say that he's distracting though. Like I don't know what it's doing, but it's trying to like get behind it. You guys would be back to 21, but the spider brings it to 18.
Cool.
Okay. But I need to recoup
Right.
my,
because you use all your speed.
yeah, my speed to, yeah. Okay. Leaning up against the pillar.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do the recovery action. I need a die 6.
Ooh.
4 plus 3.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Getting 7 back.
So I'm going to use the distractions that have been happening to try to end this thing.
Finish it.
Let's see, what's it currently at 18?
Mm-hmm.
So if I have an edge of 2, if I spend 1, that brings it down by 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then I'm also specialized in that weapon.
6. And you're actually 2 off because remember you failed your intellect defense roll. Okay. Although I think with the 20, never mind. I think with the 20 you break past that.
Okay.
You still don't think it's right, but I don't think your character cares that it's right. Not right.
Yeah. All right. So it's at 6. Oh, wow. All right.
16.
All right, cool.
So you thrust at it. It's trying to like bat your blade away with its front quarters. And it sort of goes up on its hindquarters or like sort of puts its ass in the air and is like, crouching and says to you, "This doesn't have to end this way."
What way can it end?
I can offer so much more to you than in life than if you banish me from this plane.
Devil will try to do whatever it can to survive, including tempt you. Now is the time to free it. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Honestly, let's see. Are you still attacking? Okay, so he is still attacking. In which case, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to use another Ray of Confusion against it.
Okay.
It costs 2. I have an edge of 2, so it costs me nothing.
Do you want to put any effort into it?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
You're at 18. You are trained in Arcana, which puts it at 15.
So that is another 2 that I'm bringing it down.
Down to 9.
18.
There you go.
There
Oh!
you go. Okay.
That's an additional 2 points of damage. It does 1 that ignores armor for a total of 3 that ignores damage. In addition, it is then hindered for until the end of the next turn. Yay!
Nice.
Go ahead, your lies. Now tell yourself to lie. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself lies.
Yeah, it definitely is like shaking its head and like sort of stumbling a little bit. Seems to be saying prayers under its breath, like muttering.
Okay. So I've been leaning up against the pillar, recovering.
Yeah.
Take a stance, deep breath, flip the sword in my hand, so it's faced in 2 hands, like facing down.
With the spider attacks, I forgot. And the spider attacks.
Oh,
right.
Go ahead.
I apologize.
19.
19.
Minor effect.
Minor effect. It starts to get webbed. It's the spider is sort of like dancing around it. And for a little while, you're like, what is that thing doing? Like, it just seems to be like going, but then you realize like this thing is so bright, you just didn't see its webbing, and you could see it start like a paw gets caught, and then like a wing gets tangled, and it's really starting to. So it is gonna get.
Can we use that as an asset?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so right now it's it's at 15. It went from 21 to 15.
I am going to target one of those wings. So I'm going to come down above it and just try and rip a wing right down. So
Definitely get some effort. Yeah.
3 in plus my specialization.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah, 12.
12 beats a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely take this.
Oh my God.
You just like slice through the wing.
The gold jewelry that's adorning the wing. Just
Like at this point, right? Like so much of these coins are like, we have like this John Woo moment where like slow motion coins are falling from, like as you like slash through one of the belts, and its wing jewelry is falling off. Right now, like the whole battle scene is in slow motion as it's like roaring and like trying to move away from you.
My high-vis vest and a ski mask, and I'm just like,
and it's just screaming in some crazy language.
I'm going to try to take off the other wings.
Oh God! Yes.
I can have the
awful.
The might I can spend, so I'm going to do crushing blow again. So I'm taking basically, kind of squaring
You
up.
don't even have to, because your normal effort. If you just do your normal effort, and it goes down to 3.
Oh, all right.
So normal effort and the specialization,
Right.
you're
well then still for flavor.
starting at 15.
Right. Because he's like hindered and everything. Yeah, okay.
He's double hindered this round thanks to Ray of Enfeeblement of the Spider.
So trying to take his
Wizard support's doing.
I got 12, which does succeed.
It does succeed.
6
Okay.
points. Yeah.
You all have to almost sort of instinctively step back from the sheer pool of magma that seems to be eating away. And at some point in time, you're like, well, wait a minute. Is this molten rock or is it molten gold? Mm-hmm. Like it's because it's starting to eat away at the floor of this place. You guys sort of step back. It's weeping tears of magma as it's calling out. I would like you.
Me?
Yes. I'd like you to make. It seems to be summoning something.
Okay.
What do you want to do? Do you want to try to stop it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. If it is trying to speak,
it is.
I'm going to use hedge magic.
Okay.
Which is I can have a small object appear through the air.
Yeah.
That's going to be some of its own magma. Right into its mouth.
Sure. Remember that it can't harm anything. Hedge magic can't harm anything.
No, but it can interrupt its own speech.
Right. You could.
Potentially.
Yeah. I feel like probably. Yeah, that's fine. Because the magma wouldn't necessarily hurt its own. Go ahead.
Do I have reason to believe that would not work?
No, that's fine. I mean, the die will determine whether or not it works.
Right.
Okay, no, that's all right. Cannot be used to harm. You're right. Okay.
But
you're trying to get it to block it.
No.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because you could have said it was webs. You could have said it was anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just trying to stop it from saying prayers.
That is pretty much it.
So you're starting at a 15.
So definitely.
You have to cost 1 intellect, which I go away.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. It's already
You
at
beat
50.
it already. That's fine.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got very excited.
You got all the pips.
I prematurely rolled here. I'm sorry. Sometimes it happens to bend my age.
All right. So
Make sigils of something. I'm like, kind of,
you can all see that the light is dimming.
yes. Yes.
And from the magma, you can see this sort of translucent form hovering over Anhurugal.
You are setting it free.
It
Now we must remove its heart.
looks at all of you. It is a winged woman on fire. And her wings, instead of feathers, are strips of scripture.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool.
she speaks, but you can barely hear her. Like it's just like an echo of a voice. But she just looks at the three of you. She shakes her head, and she like turns and basically like dissipates.
We'll set you free.
Yes, we are set the free. No more. What is the physical body of the creature doing?
It's basically like dissolving into magma.
Run, haul ass. I run faster than I can run, and I get there, and I'm like, ha ha! Reach into its chest.
Okay.
Is that magma? That's cool. Grab its fucking. You know what? Hold on. Let me see. Would I do this? Yeah, I would totally do this. Yeah, I would. Think right in there and try pulling it out. What do I or not pull out?
Make a might defense roll for me, please.
Oh, yes, I gladly will. That's a 19.
You do take a little bit of damage. You take 3 damage from that. As you go, is that magma?
You're like, hot.
And yes, you pull out this brass heart.
Okay.
And it looks like kind of an anatomical bull's heart.
That's cool.
It is hot to the touch. And you, the two of you are looking at him kind of like, because it's clearly burning him.
Ouch.
Yeah. I probably am like kind of like actually I'm crossing my arms, kind of like leaning back and like, let's see what the crazy stuff does now.
I'm playing hot potato with it. So
I think like it's done the damage it's going to do.
Yeah.
I think you're just
Well, I drop it down on the ground and then use hedge magic again, get a globule of the magma before it passes and allow that to hover in the air and cool. And as it does, sink, blood of an immortal, heart of an immortal. Now I complete my treatise.
All right, cool.
The heart is brass, so he is just looking at the golden jewelry strewn about.
This is
Although
consumed by
much of it, yeah, it's a slag at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to like cut up one of the panels on the ground.
I'm taking the easy pick.
It's easily picked up. Yeah, I mean, you can really pry bricks up if you want to.
I cannot emphasize enough the importance of what it is that you have done. True immortality can now be achieved without such limiting factors as this here on this material plane of ours. You shall live well. Collect all the jewels and goods that you can carry. Anything that you have. And I will use my magic and my body to convey even more. All of these riches shall be yours.
I'll take the gold, but I don't want immortality. One life is enough.
If we wanted immortality, we could have joined the cult that worship this thing.
They also have a lot of fun. They stand around in a cave all day.
They finger paint with raspberry juice. It's really nothing. But this collect. I'm just saying to it, collect. Yes, collecting. I'm going to collect.
How much do you guys take?
I mean, as much as I can carry comfortably.
Whatever is considered.
Or ish, like.
I mean, comfortably is like 3 bricks. Like,
right.
You're carrying it, you're not...
Well, like a pack, right?
I think comfortably would be 3 bricks.
Okay, I'll take 4.
Okay. You're like struggling a little bit.
Just slightly uncomfortably.
Starting with the jewels, the easier thing.
Again, a lot of the jewels and coinage is all slag.
Yeah, so, whatever's not. Right? Starting with that.
Sure.
And I do have a magic satchel, so
or
I'm looking for
do I?
Epic treasure that I can bring up.
You need me to help carry your riches?
We need to carry as much as we can. I'm not bringing this back out.
I will give you the loan of that little pocket of my jeans.
How's that spider going to be?
You hear a pop. And the spider goes away.
Right.
Literally just
there you are.
Disappears and
I make it go away for you.
Yeah, I feel like 4 bricks of gold is good for a day's work.
Here, I will carry what I can. Pick up a little rock.
This is your
I appreciate that.
Here, hold it.
Present.
There you go. Now I give you more, eh? Bonus, I'm good boss.
you're able to lead people through the Hall of Whispers.
Oh, right, yeah, because they have the way out, right?
You get out into the sanctum, sanctification chamber, rather. Do you do anything?
I'll wash my hands.
When you wash your hands, it cleans your hands well, but you feel very uncomfortable.
I say, do you know anything about the water, anything we're supposed to do before we leave? You've been studying this thing.
Yes, it is necessary for you to say thank you to yourself for the job that is well done. These creatures should never have mastery over ourselves, and the lack of confidence that you showed earlier, you've now proven to yourself that you can do this, and therefore can never say this again about yourself. Therefore, I give you the wisdom of confidence. You are welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
Yes, you can wash with a little bit of soap and everything will be fine. Just realized I'm waving a hand around with third-degree burns.
Right, probably.
You might be rapping while you're saying it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now the pain is good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything specific comes to mind. I do want to record this for posterity.
Sure.
In terms of,
You guys leave the cave.
Yes.
The two people, the two adherents, are looking at you. They say something to you.
We'll get it back to them.
They again, because you were unsuccessful in learning their language before, you're not entirely certain. But then the conversation becomes a little frenetic, and then they like turn around, and one of them like runs.
And I'm like, you're free.
into the cave.
Yes. They're free. You don't have to stay in this cave for the rest of eternity. I mean, like, imagine being 3,000 years old, but you just have to cover yourself in mud and stand in a cave all day. I mean, it's terrible.
is one remaining?
Yeah, one's remaining and like trying to talk to you all, but like it's being confused.
I look at him, and there's maybe for the very first time since you guys have been in this guy's employ, he seems calm, almost zen. Mm-hmm. He goes over to him and dips 2 fingers in the bloody bowl and makes a new sigil that are my character's initials on his chest. And then does the 4 points on him. I got that from you. Yeah. This is good.
Is your ward
free. And I look out there in the world, I hold my hand out to gesture the heavens, and then I gesture out to the lands, and then I point at him directly, and I give him the very slow and very kind shoo symbol.
Right.
I just wave my hands away from him.
It takes, while you're doing this, it takes a while. Do you guys head back down the switchback?
Yeah.
As you're heading down the switchback, you can hear screams. They're sort of like at the top of the switchback. You look up and you can see they're like frantically talking to one another, and they're like, definitely confused. One yells down at you guys again, not aggressively, but like Sana, like starts coming down the switchback. As he does, the mud begins to sort of like flake off of him, like dry and start flaking off of him. But as he gets closer and closer, you can see he's aging faster and faster, until eventually he's just a desiccated corpse and bones.
I'm trying to convince myself still that we did a good thing.
You did a very good thing.
It's like, it's fine.
Exactly. You rid the world of a monster, and you freed its enslaved people.
So there you go. There's Cypher System.
Awesome.
That was fun. Thank you. That was fun. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's one thing I did remember from playing before, like the process of like negotiating and like how much tips you're going to use and everything before you roll. Because when I started playing, I was doing it with the same thing, like where it's like you want to roll. I got that.
Oh thing. Yeah, I still have it in it's in my system to. I enjoy the excitement of the roll and the story that it can tell. But you can't let the dice tell the story.
Right.
You have to tell the story, but the dice are a part of it, like
definitely
to it.
Yeah.
You are reborn, but not freed, returning eternally to a life not unlike the one you've always lived, with the memory of it stripped away. Then you start to remember. Maybe you've been having prophetic dreams that won't stop. or you hear the spirits of the trees demanding your blood whenever you step outside your apartment door. But those are just dreams, right? Enter the Fallen Cycle at fallencycle.com.
Let's
starting to talk a little bit about what just happened.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Cypher? What are your initial feedback on the systemic experience?
We didn't get damaged much at all.
Yeah.
But with Cypher replacing 6 ability scores that we typically associate with like D20 games, with these 3 pools, multifunctional pools. Mm-hmm. You have might, speed, and intellect. And to me, this is what really stood out as a fantastic narrative device. Because as you get damaged, unless the damage type is affecting a specific pool, it goes in that order. So you are bodily being affected by trauma, and then your dexterity kind of stuff and your speed starts getting limited by that.
To fight, really.
Exactly. Your ability to fight is now taken away, and then finally, as blood starts draining out, your mind is getting cloudy, and that's your intellect. So using that, I love that, and that is a pool that slowly is drained where you can no longer affect it.
Plus the pool that you spend to take action, so you have that conflict internally of like, do I want to like spend this on this action, or do I want to keep a little bit so that I have less chance of like being killed?
Oh, and I liked that you depleted your speed pool.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like all your actions, you're just like, you're panting and like, all right, I have to take it.
And again, and that makes sense in almost a realism way that, you're, the more that you do, the more that you're drained as a result.
Something I love about this system is that, when you have a fight, you have a race, you have whatever it is, like, when you're in round 1 of a boxing match, it's very different than round 6.
Yeah.
And like D&D doesn't, just to pick on D&D, a lot of systems don't. Right. Yeah. Where it's kind of like, you're rolling the same, like your chances are the same, whether you're quote unquote exhausted or not, And
one of the things that's not a mechanic in D&D, but I like to incorporate in the story, and it goes back to Raceland from Dragonlance, in that he gets exhausted as he's casting more and more powerful spells.
Yeah.
But there's not a mechanic really that allows you to do that.
Unless you include...
You just say... You're,
I've used an exhaustion mechanic
I've certainly made Magic users that have that sort of... I've even sort of written rules about Constitution.
Like overcasting kind of,
Yeah, but it's not really...
When I was running 5e for you guys, I leaned to exhaustion heavily, right? So consequences to failure, if nothing else, is exhaustion levels.
Yeah, you can even use spell slot in spell slot type of systems. The amount of spell slots they have is 0, or excuse me, the amount that they have is the amount that they can withstand of the energy within them. Right. And the moment that they're done, you reach the threshold, your brain is drained, the energy can no longer be channeled by you. So it's up to the player to interpret the system to tell a story with that. Right. And I don't really see that often.
Yeah. It would be fun to be like, if you ever use your last spell slot, you have to make it death save.
So you fall flat on your face. Yeah, seriously.
Or a con save at least. Right? That's fun. And I did I think that I tried to keep on the pressure. I think it's very important, a system where you do continually have challenges. You'll note that it starts high. I started at 21. Now this is a level 7 adventure, which means very different things than D&D, right? Sure. Because a level 7 adventure just means, you have to be 7th level to go through it. And that's not what's going on here. What's going on is everything is at about a 21, which means unless you're using trained skills and effort, you can't do those things.
And that,
roll to 20.
That is such a salient point about Cypher. It forces you, if you want to, as let's say tier 1 characters, right? So you have up to 6 in Cypher. If you're tier 1, you're kind of just starting out. What if you ever came across something like a level 7? And that's a 21. You can't do that on a 20.
Right.
So all of a sudden people start working together to create assets. Well, I have this tool. That's the asset that then eases it by 1. Hey, if we do it this way, and now you have a lever going, and that's another act. And so you can build it up. You can build up a case by working together and actually negotiating with the GM for to lower it.
The most you could get as a tier 1 character, unassuming abilities, is 12 from the 21. You could go to 18, 15, 20, and 21 based on if you're specialized and 1 effort.
Yep.
Right? But also keep in mind that you get 4 XP, right? I use that 4 XP to gain +1 effort is one of those benefits. Well, now you're still a tier 1 character, you're still able to get that down to a 9. Right. And then you have assets and so on and so forth. I think it's one of the things, it's not that I don't want you guys to fail, right? And GM intrusions, again, I should have been using them a lot more, and because we didn't see the XP system really moving.
We used it a little bit, but no.
But like you're supposed to be like using those die rolls to go towards your goals, which we'll talk about later, and blah, 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 blah. But the more you're rolling, conceivably, the more you're spending off of those pools to get effort.
Mm-hmm. We would have had any of us rolled a 1. I imagine then we would have seen intrusion.
Automatic GM intrusions. Yeah. But I should have, on your failures, been giving you XP for GM intrusions. What I should have done. And I just wasn't keying in on what should happen. But, by and large, it's probably the best way to do that. I didn't need to do GM intrusions for Azalem's erratic behavior. SJ was role-playing that just fine.
Yeah, really well. It's a lot of fun.
Trust the voice.
And I have to say, I think we talked about this last year where I actually played in DCC. I played a crazy wizard, and
it's the one with the chicken head.
Yeah, with the chicken head. Yeah, this is great. So it just lends itself to fun role playing.
Cypher has. So you Scott addressed this earlier, and that was what is your sentence? Mm-hmm. The thing I really enjoy about Cypher is that one sentence. If you really pay attention to your favorite character out of a book, favorite character out of a movie, out of any kind of media, you're going to see that there is essentially one encapsulating sentence.
It's the log line, basically.
It really is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And so building that into this kind of allows you to, I am this archetype, which is really what adventurers are. Yeah. And this kind, we're not just the average person going out there and doing this average thing. We're not raking leaves here. We're doing a little bit more than that. And this allows that to be.
The fastidious warrior that rakes leaves.
I mean, it could be. But, there's actually a variant of Cypher that is just that kind of home-based cozy stuff.
Sure.
Which is totally cool.
Yeah, you could totally,
You can absolutely, there is a whole variant that's about cozy life. And I was like, damn, and I had
I'm going to blend things. Let's go.
Yes, I can knit. I am who knits. But the very first thing there is the adjective. And so my guy's adjective was mad. Mm-hmm. And then mad has its own set of things that come with it. And it just goes from there. Mad, it's the way that this is written, and Scott, you created this character for me. It provides the ability to portray what we in games may call insanity, but in a somewhat responsible fashion. I can have fits of insight. I don't need to portray this in. Look, the guy was delusional.
Right.
Okay. There's no bones about it. All right. And even philosophically evil. However, the way that you constructed the character sheet allowed him to see things through a different light, to think outside of the box. And all of that comes in just that one little word, Matt.
Yeah, and it was important. I do want to point out that whenever I do anything like this in role-playing games, it's not actually about mental illness.
Right.
It's meant to aggrandize that. It's it is all about like a supernatural madness or otherworldly madness or, you know, something outside the.
I mean, it's kind of a trope in this kind of fiction too, the like mad wizard, you know, where it's not like
absolutely.
really, you know,
or like the Malkavian.
Well,
right?
sure.
It's like
in the mouth of madness.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I just want to make certain that there are some games that do make it about mental illness, and I think
it's a different thing.
Inappropriately. Well, I'm sure somebody could do it well, but I'm less comfortable with those games. You know, playing a game where if you go insane or you go mad or something,
there's some tropes there too. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like think about
I think you have to be careful being tropey about mental illness.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you think about like M. Night's characters, you know, that have some of that, you know, going on.
Just to put a punctuation on what you just said, Scott, the mad in here is described by Monty Cook Games as you have exposed yourself to supernatural forces that have warped your mind. Mm-hmm. So we're not portraying something that any human on Earth could ever possibly have. Right. It is something.
Well, it's not like a seasonally depressed wizard. It's
yes. Which is just me in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting because one of the aspects that we did not touch on here, because these characters were already pretty powerful, tier 3 characters, as you can see, are relatively powerful. Yeah. There are ways you could buy off. You can actually buy XP with disadvantages. So, like, you could conceivably have realistic issues that somebody has to get through, that somebody could then lean on GM intrusions and then handled responsibly.
Right. It would have been a different kind of game, I think, than what we're doing here. But
100%, right. Yeah. And it'd be hard to merge the two, right? Like clinically depressed and mad. Like those won't gel very well, right?
But that's an interesting point about characters, though, and I think that kind of goes into the role play of them, is that if you create a character that consistently succeeds, to me, you create a very boring character. If you create a character that has been through, let's say, you take your typical levels like 1 through 20, right? Or in this, like a tier 3 has seen some shit. A level 15 has seen some shit. You've seen some stuff that allows you to create a character that evolves over the course of time. This being a one-shot, we don't really have that opportunity. But in a campaign, you know, you can, like, oh my God, all the times that I have driven this blade through thing. Like, when does it cease? When does the bloodshed cease? And you can bring in your own morals. You can have a chronically depressed character because depression has nothing to do with any amount of success you ever have. And to portray something of a 3 dimensions, congratulations. You're actually portraying a real world people.
So let me ask, would that change the tagline?
So I was just going to say that. I don't know if there's stuff in the book. So please, anybody who wants to correct us, please do. But I think it would be very interesting if tier to tier to tier, you like I know in Invisible Sun you could change foci. Right. So if you could change foci, that changes. But Slays monsters, you could just change the direction of that.
It is a monster.
Well, because you could stay on the same track if you wanted to, right? But change the vibe of the foci. Right? It doesn't have to be the specific wording. And I think that would be a really interesting idea to explore tier to tier to tier.
I think that makes sense in a narrative too. I mean, in this context, this was really helpful. And I really like having that direction based off of the tagline, Inquisitive Explorer who slays monsters. So when we got in front of the monsters, no question, he didn't have any moral, qualms about what was going on there, because that is what he does. And that's really helpful. It was really helpful here in One Shot. But when you're doing good narrative, your character's got an arc. You know what I mean? And you've got the ability to change over time, and I think that's, so having that mechanic would be.
If we were playing a campaign, I would definitely probably revise this guy. 'Cause I feel like I was playing the like sort of straight man, like sort of, more stereotypical in a way, like, the tough warrior. Yeah. But, that sort of character can definitely get depth. as time goes on.
Yeah, well, even something like the ending of what we encountered could suddenly be like, oh,
right.
shoot,
Now we're
that looked like a beast, like a bull sphinx, but then it turned into a woman who
and actually it did turn into a woman. That was its failed its failed summoning of the angel, which is the last thing it can do, but because it couldn't get through that was the angel trying to come through on this.
Wasn't it? No.
It wasn't it.
I put that together. But either way, given that maybe we didn't do a good thing,
right?
Yeah, sure. Right. From a moral standpoint, maybe that would have, and maybe that feeds into the character arcs too. But
like this would have been a different game if I had created any of the characters had a religious bent. If you had arcs that had to do
it would have totally changed how I played
being holy in any way, right? Or if instead of the wizard hiring the two of you, we could go into talking about arcs next. Instead of the wizard hiring the two of you, the three of you meeting at this place, all with different agendas. One of them being I'm a pilgrim. Right? This would have been a very, very different game.
I wanted to comment on one thing you said about power, about character power, and like how it's not that interesting a lot of times with a character who can kind of do everything or who succeeds at, we've talked about this before. I think it's like interesting. You can have a character with the same stats. I think I may have even used this example before, but the show Slow Horses. Okay, it's a spy show on Apple. Basically, you have these like sort of quote unquote fuck ups who like they're really good at certain things, but like they're like failures in a lot of other ways in their lives, And like you can have a character, it's like who on the paper on in terms of stats like might be like Jason Bourne and a character who's like them and almost the same on the sheet in terms of how you're thinking about it, like, oh, this character's really good at these things but he's terrible at everything else. And I don't necessarily even mean like skills that you roll, but like how he lives his life. And like that, I think that's like one way, and there's in many different ways, one way to make a character really interesting who's still really good at shooting a gun or running fast or whatever.
A good example was, none of you were social characters. Right?
Not at all.
Clearly, SJ was showing why he's not a social character, but like you could have, like that's what's going on with the main character, with Gary Oldman's character, is he's unctuous. He's acerbic. He's not social in any stretch of the imagination. He's a very, very good old school spy, but he's beaten up. He's depressed. He's an alcoholic.
Right.
He doesn't care about anything anymore. And you can like always bring that sort of stuff through.
Yeah, no, exactly. With this character in particular, I felt like his whole thing is sort of protecting the person and kind of following along. So I kind of felt like I was kind of not strung along like as a player, but like character kind of being like, well, this mad wizard is doing this thing. I kind of feel it's kind of maybe suspect a little bit, but I don't really have the resources to like mentally or otherwise to figure out what's going on here. And like my whole instinct is to go along with what he's telling me to do. So that's what I'm going to do,
And a couple things I want to point out, like your arcs. If you look at your arcs, I created arcs that were tangentially against one another. So you had one that was like, I craved connection with other people, but I want to become an immortal. Yours was
reputation and accomplishment, but then also epic treasure and bring that home.
And protect my ward, rescue my ward, and get paid.
Right. That was your first one, right? But then your second one was
do a great deed and stay pure, which did not succeed at the last one.
You did not succeed at the last one.
Sorry.
But arcs are very important because, again, if you had pursued them through roles during the game, you would have also gotten XP. So yes, I failed as a GM because I didn't give you enough. I should have, by the way, just so everybody knows, the rule of thumb is I should be doing one per character in the game. So I should have done 3 GM intrusions, conceivably 2 with SJ to provide SJ with 2 XP. So that's 2 XP, 1 XP because you're giving one of them to someone else. Then if you complete one of your arcs, then you would get 2 XP. So even in a game like this, you are still incentivized to aim towards that thing. I was really trying, and I don't know if I did a good job. I was really trying to convey the idea. So like those early failures, it still pushed the story forward, right? But those early failures meant you didn't really know what was going on. And what was going on is those two characters were trying to assess whether or not you were worthy to go visit their god. You know? And so if you had succeeded at the social challenge, they would have given you a blessing. If you failed like you did, they would have given you a curse. That basically the lines on your face were telling the Shadu that you are corrupt.
Oh,
you know?
cool. All right.
So your idea of like, I should stay pure, I think that was, I was trying to hint, and I don't know if it's one of those things where like the GM always thinks he's being more obvious than he really is.
I mean, he did ask, what do you want to do socially several times. I don't think we missed that point.
No, but I mean the corruption piece. Like, not understanding, like that's why, so that fountain was actually holy water. And so like
I kind of assumed both of those things,
so
but
that's why you were
didn't think my
uncomfortable washing
character
your
would
hands
know.
in it. You know, if you had tried to wash this, you would have taken damage.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
The mark, you know, you couldn't wash that off.
Yeah.
Kind of idea.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of funny. You guys just went ahead, you know, and did it. It was just great.
Oh, it's just funny because I did pick up on both of those things, but I didn't feel like my character would have like
Cared.
not cared. Yeah, kind of like well, he's leading me in. Let's go.
Let's go, right?
Who are these people here? Like,
but just so you know, that's how arcs work, and I like having two arcs. Granted, we're going to have a whole conversation in the future about goals, so like a whole episode about goals. But this is one of the things where like you get XP immediately, and you can see you guys were XP starved. That was partially my fault, but partially because you weren't pushing on those arcs.
I think that's an additive portion of Cypher. I don't think it needs to be there, though, because it is there, it adds in a new storytelling element. But I think the story was solid without it. It's not to say, I don't think that we missed it. I think that a different story would have been told. More options would have become available because now we have certain failures in there. And now we can see, okay, but I now have an XP. Therefore, I can use that to assist this person, or I can re-roll something in the future. So it's a trade-off. It comes out to a net zero. But in the end, the story was told. So with or without XP, the story was still told.
And I'm very happy with the flashback. So my 1 XP going back and doing that exploration.
Yeah, I
think
you know,
it's very
when we have when we have the episode about goals, we can sort of, that's a good point. I mean, you know, you could play a lot of these games without rewards, and that's what this is about. This is about reward systems, you know?
and it's also my experience that, I mean, with most systems, really, I mean, except for maybe like the most rules light, it's pretty common for people to play more with some parts of the system than others, just even by habit or just familiarity or whatever it is. And, you know, that's one of the things I find really interesting about RPGs is that you can have a functional story. If you're like, you know, it's been a long time, but like I remember running a White Wolf game years and years ago where I forgot like a whole chunk of the rules. The session worked fine, you know, and only later it's like, oh man, wow, I just totally, you know.
I'm going to push back a little bit though, because the system works fine, but after a while, I hate not developing. I hate my character not leveling. Whatever the case is.
I'm not saying.
And so in this case, like you guys, because I didn't do my job, and because quite honestly, you didn't do your job to some degree, right? We told a good story. Your characters would not have advanced from this episode, right?
In the course of an ongoing
Well, it's only because
campaign.
you didn't let me carry all the treasure out. I mean, I would have been able to carry.
I wanted to push you. I wanted you to have a role. I wanted you to find some way to like, you know, that stereotypical, like, and what happens if we get lost in the mist, you know, that kind of crap. Like, you know, I just wanted to like up that drama a little bit and it would be a role. It would be like, can I do this? You know, and even if you failed, you tried, you know.
So I wanted to be physical jewelry so that the crown could fall off my head and roll up.
Right. No, you're right. That was a fail. That's true. If we had more experience, you could be like, oh, by the way, there was a bunch of it that didn't get hit by the magma, you know, that kind of deal. But I think my point is like, for pre-gens particularly, it is a way for a GM to bake in a story.
Yeah.
That's not to say that if people don't follow it, it'll fall flat. But I always say, I want the game to tell you how to get the experience. And if you have people who are okay improving and, making it fun, great. Who cares, right? But not everybody is equipped.
And I'm not saying the system doesn't matter or doesn't matter if you don't know what it's just that like in the course of, especially in the course of one session, it's
that's what I was
the
going to
thing.
say. We could counter this with the one shot too, where it's like it's almost a shame that we're not, doing 3 or 4 sessions.
Right, because it changes.
Because it would change what we did in the session and how we.
I personally would have, if I hadn't hit those, I bug Jamie about aspirations all the time. And it's like, if I didn't hit those and I didn't get the max XP that I could have gotten at the end of that session.
So, staying on topic with the gaining of XP, I will inherently, I'm a professional storyteller for crying out loud. So all I ever want is story. Having said that, the rules, like you, Jamie, and I, we have spoken about this already. I believe that a game system is the standardized physics of the world that we are about to enter. Everyone goes by these same rules, if you will. And that allows a player to then set up the parameters in which they could then tell that story. The GM then provides all the impetus, the motives, what have you. But ultimately, the game system will determine what we can and cannot do. So having said that, we were able to tell a story with Cypher with or without the XP. Because it was a one-off, to your point, because it was a one-off, we wouldn't have benefited, halfway through. It's kind of like, okay, now we have XP. I want to save it up to 4, but I'm not going to get 4. So the full system wouldn't have been able to be used. Where it was able to be used, I got a reroll out of it. You got flashbacks.
I helped someone do something.
And then I rolled a 20.
Right. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So how would XP have assisted us? Sure, we would have been able to do a little bit more. I still don't think that the story was lacking. Nor do I personally feel like I don't have the same, if I understood you, Scott, correctly. I'm saying Scott because the podcast audience they don't know who I'm pointing at. Using mechanics in a lovely fashion to tell this story, I love building that as a skill set as a player.
Yeah. And I think, and again, we're all very experienced gamers. You have at least 2 authors, 3 authors, and there's 100 years of gaming experience in this room.
Just broke. Thanks.
This conversation of OSR continually comes around, and these people are like, you can have this skeleton of a game system and still tell a good game. Yes. However, first off, that could have been any system. And it could have been any story.
Right. And also, at least the common understanding or whatever is that the goal with OSR isn't as much to tell a story. Like if story happens, it's kind of, accidental, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's part of it too.
But my point being is that it doesn't mean it's going to be good. And I don't mean that in a sense of entertaining. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be fun.
No, and not all game systems are meant to tell a story.
But all game systems should be having fun.
Yeah. That is why you're sitting there. Yeah, if you bemoan going and playing an RPG, why are you playing RPG?
And I'm not trying to say that the crunchier the system it is, the more fun it is. But if you're trying to tell a story, then you have systems, and that's what this whole podcast is about, is that facilitate that process. It doesn't mean it requires the process to tell a good story. We could be playing tiddlywinks and still probably tell a good story. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But I propose that the story would have manifested more consistently if you pursue the arcs.
Maybe. In the short term, like I said, I think I agree with you. In the short term, I'm not sure it matters as much if it was an ongoing thing.
One shot,
But in an ongoing thing, though, definitely it becomes more and more. It helps you guide where you.
It helps guide you.
Yeah.
And part of what you're doing is there's also a cognitive load thing going on there. You guys were sort of just totally on, And thank goodness. And therefore, you could just ride the wave of, we have the energy, we have the spoons, we have an idea of the kind of story we want to tell and come off of the tips of our tongues. Using those as points,
right?
To say,
I mean, there are those points where we're like, what do we do? Oh, what do we do? I don't know. What do we do? You know, that sort of
can I comment on this as a novice for the
yeah.
system, because this is my experience with it is we first went over the characters, and and this is again my first time looking at might, speed, intellect, the effort, and the edge, right? The E words. So and I felt like as we started, I was oriented to it. I was okay, and then we got into the game, and honestly, I felt like I didn't have any concept of what to do very early on. So, granted, we're supposed to have fun, and this is the second time I think this has happened, is we're going into a new system.
Sure.
With me being the novice of going, oh, shoot, like I'm totally out of my depth here.
Right.
Because I'm not getting it, right? But then very quickly, I started to get it, and I think as we got into the groove and the characters went on, it became really enjoyable to now, okay, I understand where we're going with this, and then what my character's capabilities are, and surprise myself to some extent of like, oh, wow, like, yeah, this makes sense.
And know what's really funny about that, too, if you really think about it, like, you, too, were designed for battle. Right? I mean, basically a 4-level jump right from the get-go, just with you're a 5-level jump with Crushing Blow. That's you. That think about that. That takes a level 10 god, right, down to a 5, which is a 15, right? Like that's enormous, right?
Yeah.
And then I hope you saw how things began to stack as Azalem was hindering, right? It was basically a very support character.
And we're all working together to create that.
Exactly.
And then like you point out, like using assets to hinder or ease, that kind of deal, where it's very easy to get to a point where, like, if I want anything bad, quote unquote, to happen, I have to do GM intrusions, because good players in all of Cypher become very adept at just dropping that number very low.
And rule systems can be extremely complex from the get-go, because prior to the podcast, Scott went over the character sheets, went over the system, and we did that for a good amount of time.
An hour, yeah.
There is a lot of information. It can all be coalesced down to 8 rules. That's it. Cypher really only has 8 rules. The fact that might, speed, and intellect is one of those rules tells you really what the rules are about. It's everything that you were taught. Once we start wrapping our head around that may assist some people. For those of you who are listening, if you're interested in Cypher, take a look at how my Cook Games breaks it down. It's just 8 rules that you have to remember. And some of them are just how the character sheet is laid out. So it's really not that difficult. But everyone will have difficulty with certain systems.
Sure.
So, just be kind to yourself, and if this is a system that you like, go for it.
I have a learning curve as well.
Of course, everything has it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I will post, I shared with Sean and Jamie a link to a guy who has a number of, I thought, very succinct 5-minute tutorials.
You did a great job
on Cypher. I'll share those with you guys. I didn't share with you because you've played it before.
The game master never rolls.
Yeah, that's one of the 8 rules.
Yeah.
Well, he said it 8 times, so.
All right. So what else? What other things did you sort of dig about the system?
Edge. I know we went over surely a lot in the game. The fact that each one of these stats, might, speed, and intellect, has this thing called edge. It allows you to create a character who innately has a better understanding of this particular facet of their own reality. In this case, Azalem understood, or he has such intellectual prowess that his edge being 2 allowed him to very easily manipulate his abilities, to cast them out there without any cost whatsoever.
Yeah, I think half of your abilities are
honestly,
go down to zero. Right?
Pretty much every single,
all but two.
All but two.
Yeah.
And that's
your defense was an inability.
Yes.
So explain that to me, because I'm thinking like this is a magic user who has got a lot of points and intellect, but then
I brought that up.
Yeah.
Dude, so Scott handed me the character sheet, and I'm like, wait a second, he's like, masters spells, but he sucks at it. And it's like, what is it? And he reminded me, and he goes, no, that's an inability in your intellectual defense, right? What you just said.
Right.
So where's it come from? The madness. He is so involved in it, his head is thrust up Magic's butt so deep that he cannot see anything from the outside. He doesn't even realize how much it is hurting him.
It's like plunging his hand in to get the
What is the greater prize here, right? The damage that can be done to me, or my gaining of knowledge,
right?
Or it's just flesh and bone. But look at this thing I get.
Yeah.
So
something I didn't focus on that I was imagining, but I don't know if you guys were.
Right.
Is remember the two of you were getting hit by his holy aura, which was like making it harder for you. It wasn't making it harder for you because you're immune to mental influence. But I don't know if you guys noticed that Azalim stayed outside.
Yes, I did.
So he wasn't affected. He just like playing, kiting the poor Shadu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so forth. That probably
summon the creature to do melee for
Yeah, summon the creature.
Of course, I hire people to do the melee for me. Why not to?
But like he would have stopped attacking the creature if in fact he crossed that threshold, kind of idea.
Yeah.
So I love that that there are weaknesses built into what could even be your character's strongest points, and that tells a deeper story. If you as a player choose to capitalize on that, and I think it'd be remiss not to capitalize on that, but not everyone has the ability to view character sheets that way. So having this podcast, breaking down the system and finding the story within it is quite frankly invaluable.
Yeah. What you guys don't see is that I like functional characters, and I actually hand created these character sheets I do a lot of Invisible Sun, so using the pools as actual pools of
like little
cubes, so that I wanted you to see them leaving. And I don't know, I felt like, Jamie, you were really feeling that.
I love that system. I mean, I
felt like this character was less willing to spend stuff that you only had one edge, because the effort was going to take so much more cost. If you look at it, a 2 edge means 2 effort only costs 1.
Right. I was spending as much as I could.
Right?
Much, yeah.
But if you're 1 edge, now that's costing more. 0 edge, then that's like...
So wait, are the pips part of the system?
No, they're not. So for those at home, the character sheet is exactly what Scott just said. He hand drew them. Now, I have a freaking color laser jet. He could have just printed them out. No, this motherfucker drew in large squares for might, speed, and intellect so that we can have these little cubes as counters. That's what these pips are that we're referring to. And in the lower right corner, I don't know if you guys are going to take like a shot of the character sheet and upload it, but in the lower right corner is a very large circle. That's your XP, and inside of the circle is things that you can do with the XP. And what do you do with that circle? You place a poker chip, which you gave us at the beginning of the game, which represents your 1 XP. If we had gotten more XP, we would have had more poker chips. So using the character sheet as a board is actually kind of cool.
It's a tracking system. I mean, the system itself is not the same in Cypher. We didn't change the system, but it's just like a way of tracking it.
Instead of doing hash marks or math or whatever you would have done.
What Monty Cook does have is a deck of cards. They are 1 XP and 4 XP cards. Right. So you can hand those out. In this case, you use poker chips.
Yeah. Also, like something that Monty Cook also does, and I put on this, is that your recovery track has little check marks to take care of that. This, I have little check marks next to the arcs, so you do that, and then you can't do it again this session. I think he generally has like a limit of about 4 XP. I feel like you could conceivably get more.
How true were you to the world that Cypher has built in terms of we're going for the first century?
There is no setting in the Cypher system. The Cypher rulebook is setting agnostic, and in fact gives you like 10 settings to like this is how you would run a game in this.
Right. Oh, they have like a setting that's basically like Cypher System ish, right? Don't they?
They have
Numenera. That's what I'm thinking of.
Numenera is like well, it's hyper science fiction.
It came out first.
Right.
Yes.
Cypher came out because of Numenera.
That's right. Yeah.
So Numenera is like this, it's so advanced that like Earth history is like 20,000 years in the past, and there's all this crazy predation is very similar. That's their fantasy setting, only with dinosaurs. And it is actually like a science fiction setting, but the science fiction is turned down and because it's more like survival, you know. They have the Strange, which is, and the God's Fall. God's Fall is probably their most fantasy-esque setting, where the gods have died, and then the Strange is like a jumping game, like a dimensional jumping game, you know.
Which really allows you to, because Cypher is the engine, kind of like what Powered by the Apocalypse is for its various things. The difference between PBTA and Cypher is Cypher allows you on a per character basis to continue to use anything that comes from any of these other books. You can simply, if our characters ever became superheroes, we'd be able to add things to this from the superhero book. And your character would not change with the exception it now has a superhero ability.
Yeah, you could totally there's a lot of stuff for dimension and time travel and stuff, and you can totally they would just plop in. You know, wizards and gunslingers, you know, kind of deal.
Oh, one thing that we didn't mention that really lends itself to the story on Cypher is that the GM doesn't roll dice.
Right.
So the player gets to decide how much effort they're going to pop in there, how it is that they're going to defend, as opposed to, you know, a GM rolling against your character's AC. There's no such thing as the GM crits and therefore deletes your character. There's no such thing as that.
Right.
I mean, you could roll a 1 and not delete your character, but
but it's not the GM who's actually doing it.
Right.
So in a way, it turns the agency over to the player to be able to tell their own character's successes and failures.
You know what that throws me off is when there's 3 against 1, like there was in this case, and he goes to target one of the players. For me, as a DM, that's a die roll. All right, which one of the 3 is it going to target? It's random. And that way, if I keep rolling a 1 and it's always Jamie, then, you know, the die.
I usually do it based on what makes sense for that, for the monster character, whatever their like motivations, or just tactically. Yeah.
So what I did is it attacked you first because you did the most damage. You did like a crap ton of damage, and that's why I tried to get you away. I probably should have added a GM intrusion there when he pushed you out of the thing, you know. And then he started focusing on Codus because felt like Codus was the weakest will, and
possibly true
to try to be like, you know, come on, help me, brother, you know, kind of idea.
But and even then, reacting to the situation, let's talk about effort really quick. So effort is more a meter of how bad does your PC want to succeed in that. There's story in that.
Yeah.
The use of effort can be just I want to hit so I can kill this thing. Sure, if you want to do that. And that's, in many cases, that's what we did here. But you have the ability to, no, I really want to do this. You can't do that in most other systems.
Right.
So effort, it allows your character to express itself and its influence on the world even greater.
I am a little confused, sort of like not having played enough campaign play, or maybe just not enough at all. This is probably only 24 games I've run of Cypher. Why effort's cheaper as it goes up? Like, I feel like if it goes up, it should be getting harder instead of it costing less, but it's actually going the other way around. Like, it's like, are you pushing that second level of effort? Because you're not. Since it's cheaper, you're like, well,
it's easier for you to do more.
So that was a little.
First off, I didn't know that was a thing. It could also be that you have practiced, you know, and practice makes perfect. Like I developed a really quick diceless system that every time that you failed, you got a tick You know, you got a little tick mark. After 20, you then put a point into it to indicate, hopefully you learned from your damn lessons and you got a little bit better in it. So maybe it's something akin to that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So let's, SJ, let's talk about what you've been doing lately.
Oh, Christ. Immediately before the pandemic, I had this thing that came out since my early teen years. When I should have been doing homework, I was drawing maps. And it all kind of started off with this. I remember Keep on the Borderlands was one of the modules I, initially DM'd. And it was like, well, what exists outside of that? What's outside of the keep? What's outside of the hills? What's outside of the mountains that these are foothills of? Where do these plains lead to? And eventually I said, screw it. So I ended up sticking 6 pieces of paper together with tape. Exactly. Started in the upper left corner and allowed my hand to jiggle a lot. And I just started drawing a line, which would eventually become a shoreline to several continents. And that ended up becoming the world of Evandale. So when I say shortly before the pandemic, that's when I was like, you know what? I think I want to start streaming. And for the 30 some odd years that I had been doing that, when I started streaming it, people were like, what the fuck is this? And what they were hearing about were 40 plus gods, 40 plus countries, playable races, like 21 of them, and an entire history that were but it was a dark fantasy world. And this is the importance of audience, that somebody in the audience, after they were like, well, can you tell us about the world? They were brand new. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I gave them the quickly, I had already said this like 30 times. So many times over there, I had a patent rehearsed answer as to what this world was. And they were like, is there a future to it? I was like, oh my God, yes, there is. Because there was one point when I didn't want to develop dark fantasy anymore. So I wanted to develop dark sci-fi. So I ended up creating a universe that had some of the same kind of flavor in it. And we're like, oh my God, there is. And on that one stream with the chat, ended up developing 8 historical ages for this world that takes the world through its own story. Nice. So when people talk about World of Evandale, you're looking at 8 different historical ages that you can play through. And Cypher ends up becoming the perfect system for it because you can bounce back and forth.
Yeah,
just like makes sense. In the Strange.
I did a very similar thing with the Fallen Cycle.
Jamie's cursing you right now.
Well, not cursing.
Every time we introduce something new, he's like, I thought of that 20 years ago.
Not, I guess, no, I mean, it's a similar track where I started DMing, this might have even gone back to early high school, maybe, or maybe even middle school, in a setting, and kind of created our own setting. It developed. Now, however many decades later, there's been a lot of different versions of it, but it's become the Fallen Cycle. These books and RPGs I've been running, and the mythos is what keeps the same. But there is a more, sci-fi-ish version and so on. So it's very familiar.
It's cool to be able to understand. If a player, let's say in a campaign where you typically have a little bit more time to delve into the lore of the world, now you have the ability to say where things are going to go potentially if left untainted, right? Untainted by player action.
Uncorrupted.
Unadulterated.
Right.
Like players.
Yeah, it allows you to, now all of a sudden divination takes on a slightly different flavor to it. And so does history. Where can we imagine a player takes her character into a library and says, I would like to look up a place where I can then find X. You can then have the ability to, without even a second thought, of telling exactly where that is. That is the strength of us dwelling in basements, designing apps for 40 fucking years. Right. This is my silver lining, damn it. So I totally empathize with that, and I think it's such a good thing to have and to explore it. People are exploring yours.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. I mean, it's why I brought it back to RPGs. For me, it was the pandemic also, where for a while, I've been just writing novels. And when the pandemic started, it was kind of how do I, because I was also feeling the books were kind of, I mean, they're great as books, whatever, but I wanted to be able to engage with other people more directly. And like people can say, oh, I enjoy that book, or I thought this or that, but I don't feel like I'm actually creating with other people.
Yeah.
And so then RPGs created an opening for that. I started thinking about how can I get at the same sort of world building element. I mean, for me, with RPGs, it's almost like you had the permission for it to suck in a way that I don't with my books. Where it's like, oh, that session was, or like this thing happened that wasn't really what we wanted to happen, but it was completely out of left field, and it was fun for that, but like you don't have to write that in the book, but you develop the characters and the setting and stuff. I don't usually try to verbatim, like this is exactly what happened in the session. That's not the purpose of the book.
But my world ended up coming about because of player action. Mm-hmm. I never once sat down, except since the pandemic, I purposefully designed new things.
Right.
But prior to that, the world was created through story told by players and player actions.
That's great.
They always wanted to know what was over there on the horizon. So you go there and you kind of have to make some shit up. Well, after some time, you end up players who are asking the same kinds of questions, and you begin coming up with the same kind of answers until finally someone like, are you going to write this down? Mm-hmm. And other people did. They ended up creating like close to 800 pages in a freaking wiki over this.
Wow.
So, but that is all the answers that players were given because the questions that they asked. Players never asked, I doubt that this world ever would have been created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
I love when players do stuff like that. Like, or even like trying to give them a medium to do so.
Yes.
It's I find rarer and rarer that I see players engaging with that stuff, and I would love if they did.
Same. And so it's like bandwidth. Like it's like, I mean, there were plenty of things about the pandemic that were obviously bad. It was a pandemic, but the first year of it, a lot of players had a lot of time to like kind of develop their characters and do that sort of thing. I felt like been more of a struggle a little bit more lately, just because people are required to do all these things that like for a little while they can kind of shut out. So it was
interesting because you said that you were doing the Twitch pre-pandemic. Right.
I just started in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we want to talk about technology at one point now, and I think the pandemic for us, really altered the utilization of technology because of the
playing online, sure.
But I didn't do anything online in terms of role playing until the pandemic.
Yeah, basically same. I mean, a little Roll20 sometimes, but it was definitely much less.
Are you using Roll20?
Back then, yeah.
What do you use now?
Mostly Foundry when we were using a VTT.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Partially a friend of mine like does some development stuff like that.
Is this podcast sponsored by Foundry?
Not yet.
Are you?
We should talk to them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll put all of your socials on here, so
definitely.
People can reach out to you and explore all of that stuff.
Yeah, love to play again sometime. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah.
You have been listening to the Modern Mythology podcast. Visit our website, modernmythology.net, for more episodes, articles on our blog ranging from gaming to media theory, links to our other podcasts, and more. Also check out James's ongoing mythic RPG and transmedia project, The Fallen Cycle, at fallencycle.com.